Pin. Okay, and we're live. Shout out to the people tuning in right now. It's a Saturday live. It's a late Saturday live. I'm gonna need everybody to tell me how I sound. If we don't sound too good, we can't do the live. If we sound okay, we can go on with the live. So somebody link me and tell me how we sound right now. If we sound good or not. Shout out to the people tuning in right now. Big up on yourself. Thank you for being here. I only see 4 people in so far. We're gonna wait a little bit for the rest of the people them to come in. Today the live is free. Today the live is open. Today anybody can check into the live. I gave yesterday to the people whose names are in green who pay for membership every month because it's a special thing I wanted to do for them because they pay for membership every month. Today, our second live of 2025. I want this live to be free for everybody who have supported the channel, those who tune in. I understand that the live is open also. So a lot of people who don't pay, they normally come into the live and talk a lot of shite. And I hope tonight is not going to be one of those nights, right? So we're going to pay attention, and those who we have to throw out the room, we'll throw them out the room. If you feel like your opinion is different from mine, that is fine. I don't have a problem with that. I have no problem having a conversation with people who have a difference of opinion. Give it a rest, SouFLo, says a person named Awadis. Give what a rest? Pinned at the top of the chat is a number. That is a WhatsApp number. You call the WhatsApp number, you state your whatever you have to say, and be brave about it. Don't hide, don't type and then hide behind. I look at people that type but can't say on a phone call or to your face what they actually think. I look at people like those as people who throw rocks and hide their hands. You know the kind of people them will thump you and then run going at the house and lock up the door? Them kind of people there. They'll punch you, but they won't stay outside to fight. I look at you like that kind of person. So please don't be that kind of person today. If you have stuff to say, call the number, say what you have to say. All right. I'm off on it. Shout out to my naming green people. Big up to everybody who tunes in on a regular basis. Shout out to the new people them being here. We're going to continue growing for the year, right? Listen, let me start off by saying this. The first comment I saw that irked my spirit soon as we started was give it a rest, SouFLo. I saw a comment earlier on the video we did yesterday where somebody said, one woman said to another woman, what she said, she disrespected the other woman because the other woman, oh, you know the people them? She said, she typed it in patois. She said, you know, the person said, God be with this little girl. I'll keep her in my prayers. And I'm not going to be following them around anymore because now I see what is what. That person was attacked. The person who attacked them said, you know the little girl? You don't know her, so go sort out your own life and don't worry about her. My question I'm going to ask you people is this. When since did we have to know a child to advocate for a child? Listen to what I say right now. When since we have to know a picnic to advocate for a little picnic? When since we have to know a child to stand in the gap for a child? When since did we have to know a child to protect a child? Oh, and my child that me don't know him, so me mind my own business. That's where we're at? Is that where we're at? Because I don't subscribe to that. And it don't take CMR them situation for me to say this. This ain't clout chasing. Those who have followed me now for years know that I've always said this. Your children are my children. You know why? When your children come around me, I'll treat them just like my children. That means not only will I myself not harm them, I will make sure that nobody else is harming them. So when we reach the place now where it's like, I know my picnic me see that happen to girl, let me tell you what little girl do, or what the man did that do to the little girl. Yes, cause I did have her up there, you know, and he might do this. I'm not them kind of people. I don't want to be them kind of people. And if you that kind of person, you can't be cool with me either, right? It's funny, you know, people will love you once you say everything they want you to say, but as soon as you start saying truth and some of your truth goes against who the core of them really is, then you'll start seeing their true colors come out. Anytime I say stuff like, I don't chill with, make friends with, bump fist, wagwan maji, go out, party, hang out, cool with, any grown ass man who has children and has forsaken his children, don't take care and picnic them. You can never be a friend of mine. You can't even be an associate of mine. I'm a strong advocate for children in that way. When we say stuff like that, you hear, yay! When we see a little girl come tell her story, and I say, I believe that little girl's story. And I'm standing with that little girl and her story. And she's going to need help. She's going to need protection. She's going to need support from outside, because obviously support from inside is not there for her. Oh, then I become somebody weird? That's funny. That's funny. That's so crazy for someone to say something like, man, y'all go under the video we did yesterday when I was talking about my experience with Vybz Kartel concert, and then we went off into the CMR dismissed charges part of the show. Go look at the comment section. There are grown-ass people on that comment section who are advocating for a grown man to do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Pardon my language, I'm sorry. To do whatever he wants to do to a child, and then they will support him. The only thing that can tell me about you as a grown person is that you are that kind of person. You do them thing that too, right? You do these things too. So you're somebody that I will watch. You're definitely somebody I would watch. Now, I'm traveling. You know, as you can see, my background is not my normal setup. However, this was kind of pressing to me. Depressing and pressing. But I said it from the beginning. I said the only way that he can beat this case is if the mother keeps silent like she was and stood with him, as in gaslighting the shit out of that little girl to the point where no more will be said from her to law enforcement. So while this investigation went on, they investigated and pretty much found nothing because everybody was willing to back him. Nah, I don't think that's him. Nah, he's not that kind of guy. Nope, he didn't do it. Must be a misunderstanding kind of thing. Shout out to the people who support him still and are saying stuff like, okay, give it a rest now, it's dead. The law has spoken. It is what it is. The fuck it ain't. It is what it is. The law has spoken. Let me tell you something. A lot of children slip through the system in the United States of America. Someone said earlier, SouFLo, I thought you said the system in the US was better than the system in Jamaica. This is no secret. A lot of children slip through the system in the US all the time. They are abused, they are molested, abused, they complain, they go to court, nothing happens. Charges are dismissed. Abuser continues to abuse, or abuser moves on to another victim. Happens all the time. This case is no different. This case is no different. Okay? So, with that said, I'm looking at this case now like it's a sad situation. It's a sad situation for that little girl. I say, pray for that little girl. I say, pray for that little girl. She needs all the protection in the world. And I don't care who wants to say, oh, every day I live upon them name. Stop do it. Stop. If it was your child, you would definitely want me to do it. Let me say that again. If it were your child, you would definitely want me to do it. You would definitely want somebody to be looking out for your child. You would definitely want somebody to rehash what the hell that little child told a school counselor, an investigating police officer, and it was written out and it was recorded. Okay. We sent to the police department, the Apopka Police Department in Florida, for the records. We wanted the full body cam interview or the full body cam questioning session before his arrest. The reason why we wanted that was because I wanted to see his reaction and gauge his body language, how he was interacting with the police as he was blindsided with these questions. But let's not forget, if you read through the police report, it said the day that she went to school and told about what happened at home is not the same day that they got in touch with him. I don't know if he was hiding, he fled the residence. They went and did what they had to do to scrub video footage if there was any. I still can't wrap my head around there's a video camera in the little girl's room, but there's no footage from that video camera in her room. I still can't wrap my head around that. So where did the footage go? Did they scrub the footage? Did they throw away the footage? And that was a part of the cover-up. The part of the cover-up was, oh shit, you got caught. We got to figure out how to get out of this. They didn't catch him the same day to question him the same day. He was missing till the next day, according to the police report, not according to me, SouFLoTV. And everything I say that little girl said to the police, I want y'all to put, people, listen to me, please, listen to me. I see somebody saying, leave the little girl alone, leave the case alone, you don't know them. Why going so strong for this particular case? There are many others. This is one where we actually could make a difference. This is one that is close to us. This is one that I feel the need to actually speak on. Everything I say, the little girl said. First of all, let me put my disclaimer out there. This is SouFLoTV. I don't do videos where we talk about what somebody else said, right? We do videos based on what the police report said. That way, later on, when somebody is in their feelings and trying to clean up their face on social media, they can't come to us with a, oh, you're talking stuff about us that nothing no gossa. Take it down. I can pull for the Apopka Police Department report. I didn't say it. The police said it. Here's the report. That's how I do business over Yassa. All right. Now, with that said, somebody said this yesterday, and I thought about it all night, and I had to say it right now. If the mother of that little girl was standing with that little girl, this would have went the full distance. This would have been to trial. Because all it takes is this, right? All it takes is for the mother to say, you know what? Come to think of it, I've seen suspicious activities around my home. I just didn't want to believe that that's what it was. The mother clearly went and said, I don't know what y'all talking about. Nothing like that happens in our house. No, something is off. Maybe she just made this up. I don't know, but this is not what it looks like. If the mother looked at her daughter and said, baby girl, this what happened? And baby girl said, mommy, yes. And she said, fuck that. I don't want him in my house no more. You're my priority. I'm getting him out of here. I'm telling exactly what. This would have been a whole different outcome. A whole different outcome. Y'all are watching a child being sacrificed right in front of you. You hear what I just said, though? Y'all are watching a child being sacrificed right in front of you. I don't know what the reason she's being sacrificed for. Is this the sacrifice? Is this a sacrifice for fame? Is this a sacrifice for money? Is this a sacrifice for whatever the sacrifice is, you are watching a child being sacrificed in front of you. Talk to many SA victims. If you don't know what SA is, ask somebody to explain. Talk to many SA victims and they will tell you, I told somebody, they didn't believe me. I told somebody, they ended up blaming me. Or I didn't want to tell nobody because I know they weren't going to believe me. So don't act like this is new. Do not act like this is new, like this is the first time a child came out and said this, and friggin' adults around said, we don't really know. We don't really know. You sure? I don't know. And then the law follows and says, well, we don't have enough evidence to pursue. This is not the first. It's not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 1900, 10 million times. It's happened over and over to numbers we can't count. So this ain't new. What I want people to understand is this, because a lot of people are confused right now. What was said so far, and remember, this is the USA and this is Florida, everything eventually becomes public record. Unless. So it's just a matter of time. So back to what I was saying before. I want y'all to understand this. Nothing said. We, the state of Florida versus Coshane DeMai Carter, found that the alleged victim concocted a story that turned out to be a lie. In other words, they haven't proven that the little girl was lying. Some of them know white people are running and rejoice. They have not proven that the little girl lied. And there is no record of her recanting her story either. The only thing the law says is we do not have enough evidence to pursue a criminal trial. Man was questioned. An intelligent officer found reason to execute an arrest. Man was charged. Evidence was needed to pursue, to go further. Enough time enough. A man kill a next man, especially here in Jamaica. A man kill a next man, and he's arrested, and he's released on bail. And when he's released on bail, he just get rid of the witnesses. And then when the court calls the case again for trial, he beats that case because there are no witnesses alive to speak. So, does it mean he is innocent? Or does it mean he did a good job cleaning up? Come on now. This is called Reasoning with Intelligence right here on SouFLoTV. We don't do the dumb shit, okay? Everybody can play dumb all you want to for as long as you want to. Sometimes we joke around a lot, but when it's serious, it's serious. Let's talk. Let's talk. You know the state of Florida, right? I grew up in the state of Florida. I left Jamaica as a young picnic. Little baby, I left Jamaica as a youth, small youth, young, compared to who I am now, where I'm at now. Back in the day when I was growing up in the same state of Florida where CMR is charged at, was charged at, and is dismissed. When I was growing up there, if a guy beat his woman and she called the police, officer, please come get me. My eye socket's fucked up. My face is, my jaw, I think my jaw is broken. He's beating me. The police comes. Police arrest him. After the police arrest him, he's in jail. He gets a phone call. He calls her. Babe, man, listen, man. You know I didn't mean to do all that. I didn't mean to do all that. Keep in mind that all these institution phone calls are recorded, right? So police is realizing I'm listening to this mofo actually admit to doing it and telling her, you made me do this. This is strong evidence we could use against them. But the law said different back then. Back then, the law said you can't use that evidence against him. You listening on his phone call, you know, she the same. We're going to need her to say, yes, he was the one that punched me in my face and got my eye like this. He was the one that broke my jaw. The men would literally talk these women into saying, I don't want to press charges. I don't want to press no charges. And the state of Florida had to drop the charges. Now, over time, the law changed. Now, if you check the laws in the state of Florida, and it's been like this for a while, if you hit your spouse, they come to your house, they don't have to come because she called or he called, come man get abused to. They could come because the neighbors called. The neighbors said, yo, 2014 Almond Street, they're tearing the house up over there. I hear a woman screaming. I don't know what the hell going on. Please get here quick. The police gets there. If that woman run out the door and she say, he's beating me. They see a black eye. They see the same jaw broke or something. They'll take notes. They'll do everything. If that woman later on says, I don't want to press charges. I know, but I love him and I don't want to press charges. The state of Florida now says, you don't want to press charges, but we do. And we are going to, because we have sufficient evidence to do so. And you will be prosecuted. I'm watching a video of a man that did that to his woman, right? And the arresting police officer said to her, because she was like, please don't arrest him. I love him. The police officer took her to the side and he said, I'm a police officer. I can't tell you how many years he's gonna be gone for, but based on his record and this crime right here, he'll be gone for at least 10 years, maybe more. I think half of that is enough time for you to get your life together. Either if you got to go to another state to start over, we'll give you the resources, we'll put you in touch with people who can help you, but we need you to get away from this guy. But we are going to press charges, right? And when I saw that, I was like, yo. So let's put that now in this case. That little girl told her story. She didn't tell her mama. Your mom, who you think would definitely, if you ask me today, me, SouFLo, what your mother would have do if somebody do something to you? I would put my neck on a block. My mama is not gonna be like, oh Jesus, nothing. You out of there. I don't think no resources would be spared. Every mother is not the same. Every mother is not the same. So she didn't go to her mom. She went outside. She went to a school counselor. And a school counselor by state law is required to report that to a police. You see how far that went? Now, remember this. She's not slow. She has no learning disabilities. She is not a dummy. She is highly intelligent. Remember when you were 13? When you were 13, you could tell somebody was molesting you if they were molesting you. She know what in other words, then she knows what she was saying. Not only that, she also knew what would happen after she told. So she went to school. She got the ball rolling. She told. Walk through this. She felt secured now, feeling like, but she, of course, she's going to be feeling bad, right? Like, this is breaking up my family. What a weight of a responsibility for a 13-year-old to hold, to carry. Me saving myself is breaking up my family. My mom is gonna be unhappy because she's gonna lose her husband, who I know she loves. This is the father of my sisters, multiple sisters. All this to save me, myself. But she was in such a desperate place. She was like, I have to do it. I have to do it because I have to save me. She weighed the options. She knew the consequences. I want y'all to think about when you were 13. I said, think about when you did a 5 and 6 and 7. I never have too much sense. And your reasoning levels weren't that high. I'm talking about 13. She knew what time it was. She knew everything that was coming with it. What that poor little girl did not know was that, I hate to say this, but that the system would fail her. That's what she didn't know. She saw a clear shot to finally being free. She did. She saw a clear shot to finally being free. And she weighed the options and she went for it. Now, like I told you, right? Everything is going to be public record at some point. We'll see. We'll see. So we requested the arrest video. First, we requested in the police report, the police officer said, we questioned him, the suspect, and we said this and he said this, and they wrote everything out. I wanted to see that on video. At the end of the police report, the police officer says his state-issued video camera was recording the entire time. So it's on video. Now, these videos are public record. If you can access them, or if you know how to access them, they're public record. When we contacted the Apopka Police Department, they said the case is still ongoing as ongoing investigation. So they were not able to release that yet. However, they could release to us the arrest video. I said to them, I said, officer, I know he was arrested. I read the police report. It says he was arrested without incident. So I'm just going to have the arrest piece of the video just for what? Just to see him get arrested without incident. That already said that. And I explained to him what I actually wanted it for. He said, we can't give that to you yet. However, if you pay a certain amount, we can give you the arrest video. I paid that certain amount. I'm very transparent with my audience. I paid the amount. And I was waiting for the arrest video to arrive. They said it would take some time because there has to be a whole lot of redaction going on in the video. I guess pieces they have to cut out in order to, what is not public record versus what is according to law. You can call anytime, fam. Irie Man says, when are you taking calls? I said, you can call anytime. I paid for the video. And I was waiting on the video. And then I went away traveling. And then I heard this. So I don't know if they're going to still send the video or if they're going to refund my money that I paid. But what I do know is we'll find out the rest. Like, why was it dismissed? Because it's hard for me to believe that a child came to you and said, this guy. But then again, I've told my audience too, I said it's what you can prove in a court of law, right? Right. And sometimes when we discuss cases, it's not based on our personal feelings. It's based on what can be proven in the court of law. Let's go back to even the Vibes Cartel case. When a lot of people was like, SouFLo, you just a damn sheep. You just loving music and are your favorite artist. So you can't see him as a murderer. And I would always say to people, listen, it ain't about how you see him or how you feel about him. We're not doing shade tree mechanic stuff. We're not under the mango arguments about, yo, my G, yeah, and that me I said to you know, and that's why I know, you know, cause him and the girl did pass Wednesday, you know, that's not what we're doing. I'm going off of irrefutable evidence. Was it presented in order to secure a conviction? The answer is no, it wasn't. Can you tie this suspect to the place where you say this murder was committed? Maybe while he was cutting up the person, he accidentally cut himself and left some DNA at the scene. Maybe he was smoking a cigarette earlier outside of the house and he like smoke and spit and you scrape that up off the ground. Maybe it was found on a cigarette. But I mean, can you give me something? The answer was no, no, no. So in this little girl's case, this is what it winds down to. They needed more evidence. They needed more evidence. Remember this. Let me draw one random name from the chat right now. RR123. RR123 says, SouFLoTV grabbed me, put his hands under my shirt and molested me. SouFLo is over here going, what? Me? I never met this person in my life. Where does the law come in? The law is going to say, where's the proof? Because anybody can say somebody did something, right? But where's the proof? This is why I kept asking people earlier who are saying, well, people tell a lie all the time. And me not say the little girl lie, but the court say him dismiss. So that means him never do it. No. It's just a thing that happened that cannot be proven outside of who was there when it was done. You feel me? When we did grab the breast, them, we never leave no fingerprint on the breast them. So them couldn't say, let's scan the breast and see if his fingerprints are there. Now, if his fingerprints are found on the breast, you got to explain what the hell your fingerprints doing on them titties when you said you never touched them. Just like breaking in a house and you broke in and you touched something. You have to go explain to the forensics now. How did your hand fingerprints, all your damn fingers are on the entrance lock to that house? You just told us in questioning that you have never been to that residence, ever. How is your fingerprint on the door? You see? Right. So this is reasoning with intelligence, my friend. SouFLo Iron Man need for calling the man disrespect you to the highest level. It might take too long for calling. The phone is right here and ain't nobody calling in. I'll check out Iron Man comment in a minute. And if Iron Man is one of them that's throwing rocks and hiding his hands, then we'll just do away with Iron Man and he won't be able to say anything else in the chat. But me not like make stupid people break my chain of thought when I'm speaking, because these words are very important. Right? Neticia says the same way they would have said I was lying when I was getting touched up in my sleep from age 9 and I had to run away at 24. There are a lot of people out there. It's something you can't prove. Listen, if a child is molested, right, and the child, okay, Nicki Minaj brother, I'm using famous people and everybody. Nicki Minaj brothers, in his case, if you look at what the report says, now, if you go into a situation where a minor says, I was molested by this guy, and they do a culture kit, right? A rape kit on the minor, and your semen is found in that minor's underwear or even in body cavities, you can't beat that case. You see what I'm saying? But in a case where it involves touching and moving, how can you prove that? So the poor little girl ran and complained and thought she had something to get her to freedom, and they said it wasn't enough. Had she known the law, it would have been more, you know, she probably would have been like, you know what? Let me really catch him Man, I was watching a video the other day of, I think a lot of you might have seen it. It's an older Jamaican guy that's sitting in a car and he's sitting in the front seat. And it's his niece, I believe, who is now an older person as well, probably 40s or 50s, I think. And my computer connection is unstable, might be some buffering going on. We'll work through the buffering. She was saying, remember how you raped me, uncle? Remember how you did this? Remember how you held me down? Remember what you were saying? Remember this? And you tell me said this and you tell me that. I remember your semen leaking down my leg. I remember your. This is a Jamaican video. I don't know if y'all seen it. I'm saying all that to say this. That poor little girl never stood a chance because even everybody was working against her. Everybody was working against her. Yeah. America got a whole show with Chris Hansen, How to Catch a Predator. Clearly, it's a normal thing when they have to have a whole show about this, and every child is 13 and 14 years old, and it's everywhere. Yes, absolutely. Had she had her mama on her side to push this, Jeff says I'll come back when the chat is so messy or closed. Some of y'all messed up and just horrible. Uncle SouFLoTV, bless up. Boy, Jeff, you can't make them run you out of the chat still. This is why we don't really like to open the chat, and I give it to the people who are in green, because for some reason, people whose names are in green, I guess they're invested in that way. They normally know how to have conversations with no disrespect to it. Anyways, you saw the video, Marie Lynn? Yes, I saw it, and she's now 54, and she confronted him in the car. Kim, you saw the video as well. All right. So, with that said, if you can't prove it, as far as how they say prove it, Capricorn says you saw the video. So you see, I'm not lying. I'm not making stuff up, right? The video exists. This is to give validity to how many people these things have happened to. There's a lady that called into us that told us that she told her mom, and her mom said, it happened to me too, and it never killed me, so you'll be just fine. That was one. There's another one that called into us where her mom, after she told her mom basically didn't do nothing about it. She just let it happen again. And she spoke about how empowered the person who was doing it felt. Oh, you tell your mother and your mother never do nothing about it. That means somebody can do it all the time now. And she said, SouFLo, this is when him text set for me. Him text set for me after that, and I just couldn't stop it. Sometimes I just lay down and make it happen. Because I told my mom, and my mom didn't care. And it would be happening sometimes in the house with her in there. And I was saying to myself, how could she not be awake right now? She in her room sleeping, it's her man. And get up and left the bed and come in our room, my room. And he in there doing things to me. And I'm like, my mom is down the hall in her room. How could she not know that her man is missing from her bed? So y'all don't get out here and act like, oh, this is a one-off story. These things don't really happen. It's sad. It's sad. I don't want to say a lot of black women because I don't know a lot of white women or Asian women or whoever else to compare. But I'll say this. In our community, this seems to be a common thing. In our community, this seems to be a common thing. It seems to be a common thing where not only a lot of our women have been molested, but it seems to be a common thing where a lot of adults will back up the molesters or just pretend like they don't know what happened. So not only are we looking at the men who are doing these things, we're looking at the women. So enough of no big woman out there when know about them things that happen to picnic and you never did nothing to save that child. A lot. A lot. I don't know if you froze out of fear. I don't know if it's because you couldn't pay the bills and this are the man who did not pay them because it was your man that was doing it to your child. I don't know what the circumstances why you did what you did, but I've come to realize that within our culture, a lot have been molested, and there are a lot of mothers and grown people who knew what was happening and did nothing. And some even went the further step to cover it up or to act like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Nikki Ranking says also it was a shame to talk about it. It was a shame to talk about it, Nikki, because they made it a shame to talk about it. This is how they would. This is Ironman. I am taking calls. Are you calling or not? Majestic Ironman comment for the first time. And each time I see his comment, it says, are you taking calls? And I don't see the other comments. So I got to pay close attention. Me tell everybody this. Listen, if any of my daughter them ever come to me and say, SouFLo, fill me up and take me out of my bed, pull down my pants at night time, put me at the edge of the bed or foot of the bed, wherever. Don't fucking support me no more. Don't. I just believe that in life there's just certain things that your name just should not call on. That's just me. I just believe that there are just certain things in life that as a big man, your name shouldn't call upon it. Shouldn't call upon it. Because you should have been so far from that it was all like virtually almost impossible to call my name on that. And if my name was ever called on that, it should be able for me to deliver irrefutable proof. There would be no hiding. There should be no lawyer that can tell me, don't speak about this because, let's go. Nothing. I'm coming out and I'm speaking out clear, plain, leaving all proof on table, everything. A lot of secrecy was going on with this. Y'all didn't see that from the beginning? For the people who follow Chrissy, has she ever said to y'all, okay, his charges are dismissed, so this is what had happened, guys? They can't. They can't. The calls are not going through. You know what? The phone is saying no notifications for real. Yeah, so at this stage, man, I feel bad for the little girl. I'm saying pray for the little girl. But yesterday when I was speaking, I said when we speak again, I would speak about what could be done, like how to be an advocate, right? How to be an advocate. The way you start out being an advocate is you do not support people who harm children. The child did not lie. The only way I would look at this story different. Only way I would look at this story different is if that child, and it's going to take years because she's going to have to be an adult, and she is no longer under the supervision of anybody, and she is at least 18, old enough to speak on her own. Nobody can do her nothing now, responsible for herself. And she come out and she says, you know what? Remember that story that happened in 2024 when I went to the school and I said, blah, blah, blah. I swear to you on my life, it is true. Let me tell you what really happened. Until then, kill me dead. Me thinks that a little girl is being coerced And I think that she is also being they're definitely coercing. Some kind of coercion agwan. Or until I see that police report from the state of Florida where it clearly says the alleged victim recanted her story, and her reason for recanting the story given is she said she made up a lie because XYZ, ABC. Yeah. Now, what happens after this? Because it done say from day one, I said they can't live together ever again. So this is your wife, right? And you are husband, and you have children together in the household. So now you are no longer allowed to live with your wife and your children with your wife, or this child has to go. What's going to happen next? There's a lot of people in here who, well, not a lot, one or two people in here who I've been clicking out of the chat, because if you're going to say anything other than you're doing this for clout or for content, this channel has over 400,000 subscribers. We have thousands of videos. You should know my style. Clout and content we don't need. Substance, service, purpose. Try those. Hey, get grown and mature with me. Substance, service, purpose. Try those. Chiffa Mitchell said they bought her with the iPhone 16 Max. They gave right before Christmas, even though they gave it to the other kids, so it didn't look. Wow. Now back to what I was saying. Nikki Nix. That's a question that you really have to ask, Nikki. Nikki says, why are people calling for people to stop advocating for a child? See, that alone bothers me. That alone would make me. So that's like me saying to you, yo, so them a rip off the little girl over there, so no man, I'm gonna stand up for her, man, so them not rape her again. And you jump in and you go, leave the little girl alone. You know her? It's none of your business. Go mind your own business and worry about your own life. People tell me, that sound okay to you? Does that sound okay to you? And I would think the phone wasn't working. Live on the air with SouFLo. Yeah, fam, what on?
I'm here. I just want to ask you two little questions. I'm listening. So I just want to ask you two little questions. We don't know. Just a man to man I will read. Just two little questions.
Okay, wait there. Hold on there. First of all, we're not with our regular setup, so we don't have the big speaker, so you have to listen closely to the callers. I have a microphone on my neck and I'm holding the phone, so it's straight from phone to the microphone, not through my big speakers I normally have, right? For the person who named Ironman, and y'all keep telling Ironman that the phone not working, here is somebody who just called in. So a lot of people go on like them, like throw a stone and them hide them hand. Ironman ain't calling in, because if he was calling in, it would have came through like this right here. All right, go ahead and ask me a question, bro.
Okay, so it is no longer innocent until proven guilty. That is one of the questions.
One of your questions is it no longer innocent until you're proven guilty?
Yes.
That's your question?
Yes, that is one of the questions.
Okay. So let me answer your question then, right?
Yeah.
Right. Innocent till proven guilty to me is, were you at the scene of the crime? Was your DNA found at the scene of the crime? That kind of stuff. That's innocent till proven guilty. in this particular case, there's a difference because this comes down to a he say, she say. And I've painstakingly spent time explaining that some things just cannot be proven because the only people who know what happened would be the victim and the victimizer. Like, there is no way a child can prove that you touched them unless others saw you do it or you admitted to doing it. You understand?
Okay.
So innocent till proven guilty does not just go right across the board with a broad brush.
Okay. So in the case of this, remember, I'm not taking for no one, I'm a parent, single parents, live here with kids, them, the girl picking them. So I'm not taking up for no one. So understand that.
Missing no father molest them own picnic man. So you know if you tell me where you're not take up for, just say what you say and ask a question.
Okay, so in this case now, what the prosecutor should do in this case, and time, so what it should actually do.
That is your next. That is
in the law.
Wait. Hold on. Let me fix this mic. Hold on. Let me fix the mic. I just rip it off my shoulder. All right, go ahead.
Yes, in this case,
Mm-hmm.
what the law should do, because the law itself, rather to get somebody who are free more what innocent person a prison, So in this case, what the law should do.
Are you asking me what the law should have done in this case?
Yes, that's the question.
Okay.
Because hold on, when I'm at this tweet, by listening to you, I had already in my head habit, say this man is guilty in your way you speak, I'm not saying this man is guilty, but me say to way you speak, in my terms, I have it say this man is guilty.
Okay, so what's the question you want me to answer? What should the state have done? Or why do I think he's guilty? Which one you ask?
You think I know something, that is two different something though.
Yeah, man, but which one do you want me to answer?
I want you to answer what the law should actually do. It's like they are meant to the law for these things then, for a person not to get away with it. Because remember,
okay.
You say me say, what should happen?
If the law, what I think the law should have done, since the mother is not cooperating with the law in a way that would bring about the justice that I think the child deserves, what the law should do next is make sure that that individual is no longer around that child, unless that child says I was lying.
Okay, well listen now, this child can lie to this child can be somebody who is not in alignment with his stepfather, because me tell you something, most child don't want to be aligned with stepfather, I'm not saying it's that case, but it can be like that too, when this child just don't want to hear his stepfather can be too strict on this child too, so he might have want to shoot him by telling like, I'm not saying it is like that, but me want you to open it widely, you know that these things possible as well too. I'm not saying it is this case, but want you to understand that these things can happen as well.
Well, where are they saying that, or are you supposing? Because everything that the child said from me came from the police report. So what you are saying is you're supposing, right? You're just adding a suppose, like suppose she like as she not like stepfather. That's where you coming from with it.
Well, that's where I'm coming from, because these things is possible, because the police report is like, to drop this case, it's like we don't have as much proof or evidence to move forward.
Okay, why you keep skipping over the part, bro? So you as a man, right? Let me ask you something. You say you're a man, right? With children, right? And you have daughters, right?
Yes.
All right. God forbid, right? Tonight you decide. How old are your daughters? Okay. Okay. So listen. Let me walk you through this then. Let me see if I can make you understand this. Say tonight you decide, right, to squeeze up your 15-year-old daughter breast on her bottom, right? And then tomorrow, God forbid, and then tomorrow she go tell the police. How will the police be able to prove that you squeezed her breast on her bottom last night? Hello. Answer my question, bossy. Answer my question. How would the police be able to prove that you squeeze up our breast them and our bottom last night?
The police have to hear two sides of the statement and try to use a fine teeth comb and go through it and whatsoever. Because it's just so far, it's the same thing. Somebody can just look by you at the road after somebody find out that you know.
How will the police be able to prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that you did that to that child last night?
Okay, you know what I'm saying? As when I say, the most the police
bro, me just
information, statement from both
and right, and they're gonna get a statement from the child, and they're gonna get a statement from you, right? Your statement is gonna say you didn't do it. The child's statement is gonna say you did it, and the child are gonna say how you did it, where in the house you did it, when you did it, all that, right?
Right.
Okay.
All right. If me can answer that question, what would you do in that case? For me, give you my best answer a while ago. In that case, what would you do as the police then?
I would side with the child until you, the adult, can prove to me that that didn't happen.
Then that's what the police are doing. The police side with the child, you know. That's what the police are doing. You know what? That's why this get locked up, you know, because the police was and they complain and side.
Yes.
Like instruct can't go no further.
But they didn't drop the charges because he didn't do it. That's the part I'm trying to get you to understand. They did not drop the charges because he didn't do it. Just like I said earlier, right? You feel up your daughter last night. She go tell police today. How will the police prove? You said the police is going to take a statement from both sides. Comb through it with fine teeth comb, whatever. Okay, fine. Tomorrow, them drop the charges against you because they couldn't prove that. That was just your word against her word. So you walk away saying what to yourself now? It never happened.
So Flo, when I say this to you, this is not something. I understand this, you know. This is not something me I support, you know. You understand? As me, I said to you as a big man, you know. They are my 15-year-old, you know, just look after him, you know, because he's a single parent, you know, lose my wife by corona, you know. So me I hold on my house. You understand? Me never not feel a 14-year-old room, you don't go there, you know, because it's more.
Whoa! Stop. Hear what you just said. What did you say just now? So Cynthia, I know, I understand you're trying to get me to open my chain of thought and think with a broader scope. I get it. But hear what you said just now. You never knock your teenage daughter door yet and go in there without her permission. You said that, right?
Right.
All right, bro. So let me ask you this now. Would you put a camera in your daughter's room?
No.
All right, then. You wouldn't even knock the door and go in there without our permission. So what camera do in our room? What I'm trying to say is you said the police would have to comb through this with a fine teeth comb. And what I'm trying to draw you into here is there were too many friggin' red flags in this whole story. This is why I wanted to get the video of the questioning that led to his arrest. Come, you want to see it for myself.
Okay, you said the police dropped the case because I did not say this guy is not guilty. What the reason for the case to drop?
The police never said I'm not guilty. The case was dropped because they had insufficient evidence to move forward to a prosecution. Back to what I said to you earlier, if you touch up your daughter right now, how the hell the police are going to prove tomorrow, say you touch her up before? Touching up don't leave evidence, brother. Feel up no left evidence, you know.
Yes, I understand that. In that case, the man can 100% guilty. But it can be a screenshot that is not guilty. So in that
So in that case, I give the child the benefit of the doubt. I'm not giving it to the damn adult.
Okay, when you hear me now? Hear me now. Because I straight down your guard. When you hear me now? Court of law not deal with benefit of doubt. You know that? Court of law don't deal with benefit of doubt.
Yeah, and sometimes we not deal with court of law. You know that. And sometimes we don't deal with court of law. You know that.
Yes, but let me tell you something.
Okay.
Things cannot be cherry picking up. Like say whatever. If you deal with court of law is just used as a broad brush of court of law. Understand? So benefit of the doubt have to go away. Straight up.
No. No, because if you're given the benefit of the doubt, bro, this is what you just did. Bar none. Don't go around it. Me not like people who take one side and next side are turn up in a middle. Take a side. You're saying basically that the little girl lied. That's what you said. No, that's what you're saying. And you're under the impression, brother, you said the little girl lied. It don't even sound good to you. Okay, let me be real with you. It don't even sound good to you saying it. So you have to find one crafty way to say it. But that's what you're saying ultimately.
I'm wrong by saying that.
No, you're not wrong by saying that. I'm saying that what you're saying ultimately is that the little girl lied.
Bro, I could never
and you
say that, and I will never hang up with you at that time my head said he said that. No, I don't say that. Me I tell you about the court of law. You have to go
hang up with that on your head, say that, Mr. Because listen, I'm in front of this 1680 people that are here today. You just said the little girl lie, and that's what you said ultimately.
What will you say? No, have nothing to do with what me say. You understand? I could have 2 billion people at this street.
Why?
Tell us the court of law don't give you benefit of doubt. Okay.
Bro.
Court of law want to be correct in what I do. When I prison somebody, that's when I try to tell you.
Got it.
So when I hang a person, you want to know that the right person and hang guilty of the charge.
Have you never heard of someone being convicted based on strong circumstantial evidence?
All the time.
All right then. Okay then. Okay then. Say it again. You say all the time?
All the time.
All the time. Now go back through this case. And go reread that police report and reread what the little girl said and how this went down between the police officers questioning and CMR answers. And there you will find your answer, my friend. So yeah.
I will say CMR guilty, So me tell you that now. But me tell you about court of law. So you is a man will deal with that gravity and that item. You is a person of that.
Brother.
So you cannot use it in your own benefit. You have to use it all the time across the board.
Listen to me.
You is a man
Listen. You're not a judge, as in a judge in the Florida judicial system. Neither am I. You're not a police officer having to do with this case. Neither am I. We're both viewing this from the outside. The only thing we have to go off of is what the little girl said happened to her and what CMR said trying to defend himself based on what the little girl said happened. That's all we have to go off of. So let me come out of the courtroom. Because we are none of them people there. So let's come out of the courtroom. And we already understood that the court did not go further from lack of evidence to pursue a prosecution. So we understand that. Make we come out of that. Look at the details of what that little girl said and what CMR said, and then tell me where you stand with this.
I just say to you, I'm stand say CMR really do something inappropriate to that child, So me stand there say him do something inappropriate,
Okay.
So,
hard to tell, bro. Hard to tell.
Right, because you know why you have to tell? Because me can't be just operate like that. Me still tell about court of law, but me tell you now by an outside man looking in and take a court of law from it. Take away the justice system court of law from it. I'm going to lenient with the girl. You understand me? Because let me tell you something. Personal really normally will get up and tell a lie by you, so He lie have to mix with truth. That means you must do something where it's not right. So if both have to mix together. So me understand that too,
All right, sir.
Because yourself.
Manners. You see, this is why I love when people call in instead of just get them. People be braving their thumbs. You type with your thumb. People be braving their thumbs. See them here? Hey, see what I'm gonna say. They have a lot to say with their thumbs. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear you call in and articulate what you are saying. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good evening. But they ain't no family. They take it easy, you know.
Everyone in the podcast. Everybody. So, they have to be a supporter. They have a reason. Because we know from the comments, the people might think that.
This is Iraman.
Well, like all our brothers.
This is Iraman. This is Iraman.
Yeah, man. That's why I'm telling you that. To me.
All right. So.
On WhatsApp, because I never know, but then I realized that, the WhatsApp number is a ring while I'm on the phone, so that means that straight you have to get the call, not WhatsApp. So that's why I'm calling straight.
Well, all right. Well, whichever one work. So yeah, let's get to it.
Never work for me. I don't know if it's gonna work for other people, but it's just
the other person said a straight him call to so.
But SouFLo, you know, so from a post to video them, me a push back against you.
From
me have girl beat them in general. Me have girl beat me. And that's not the only.
You did a push back against me.
He's not an evil person.
Wait there, make we talk. You did a push back against me from the first video me do.
Not the first one. The one where you misinterpret the law. Because you were trying to say, if they might do an investigation to the case. If they go back and they stream them, you see me try
connection unstable.
You should have known the law different in every.
Hold on. Yeah. Jamaica, the internet act funny. Sometimes it says calls unstable. There's gonna be a little bit of buffering, and then you can go ahead. Make sure we're good again. Talk.
Alright. Yeah, man. Anything. But yeah, like that, we don't know for the first video, but you know, do a video where basically I say like, them about to get sentenced, and we're gonna try explain to you. Say no, them are try investigate the case because obviously them have got talk back to the girl, little pity them in the house.
I never did any video saying that he's about to get sentenced. Go watch my video again.
Not the one just now. That's the one we do with.
None of my videos ever said he was about to get sentenced.
What was the last video? What was the first section of that?
None of my videos ever said he was about to get sentenced.
Alright, but take that correction. So we'll move on now. May I ask you, what was the first section of the video before the Freedom Street video where you mixed it?
What do you mean? What was my perception?
Yeah, you were trying to say them investigate something. What were you saying?
I said I did a video about the status of the case because a lot of people were saying we haven't heard anything else about the case. So where is the case at? And I told my audience that the case was sent by a judge for investigation, where there could possibly be a sentencing or he can get off if. And I said the reasons.
Remember now, because we did a pushback in the comment section. As I was telling you, obviously, it's not a free sentence. Obviously,
I never said it was.
More information to see if this case should proceed to a trial. That's why we did a pushback in the comment section.
You was pushing back in the comment section saying what?
Yeah, pre-sentencing.
I never said this was a pre-sentencing.
You were saying or. You were using it to say it could be.
No, I didn't. I didn't. Listen, bro. Listen. Don't. You don't have to twist up my words, cause I went straight to the Apopka Police Department website, and the status that was on the screen is what I told my audience. This is what it says on the screen, and then I went to a law library and I looked up what that means when the case is put in this right here. And I explained to them what the law library said. See, the thing about me is none of what I said to you was me just talking and saying. Is me reading from what the law is.
But SouFLo, based on what you said, my brother, it didn't make sense to me because I don't live in Florida.
Based on what? What did I say that didn't make sense to you?
Because you're saying when you went to a law library, you don't need to go to a law library if you know the law. You would have known that the case is just under investigation, and it has nothing to do with pre-sentencing.
Hold on. Stop repeating pre-sentencing, bro, because I never said that. Stop repeating pre-sentencing because I never said that. Now you just said something again that made no sense. Y'all hear this, man? He said you don't have to go to a law library if you already know the law. Even lawyers go to law libraries because there are many laws out there and a lawyer can't keep all of them in his head.
No, I said you wouldn't go look for something that you know. So I wouldn't need to go look for it, knowing that what it means. So if I had to read what you read, I wouldn't need to go look somewhere else. That's what I'm saying.
Somebody said,
I'm confident in what I read. So, like, you know something. If you know 1 + 1 is 2, you don't need to go to a calculator, my brother. That's what I'm saying.
Every police officer know the Miranda rights, right? Every police officer, let me give you a good example. Every police officer knows the Miranda rights, especially those who are veterans who have made many arrests. You know what I mean? They know the Miranda rights. Yeah. Why do you think that it is law that when that police officer is reading you your Miranda right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed unto you. Why you think the police officer never just say it? Him actually pull out a card and read it from the card. Why do you think it's done like that?
A police officer and a lawyer is not the same thing, SouFLo.
Brother, I'm asking you a question. Just a question. You don't have to. Okay, so if we're gonna have a conversation, right? Listen. If we're going to have a conversation as grown people, no need to be condescending. For you to say to me as a grown man, a police officer is not the same as a lawyer, SouFLo. That's like me saying to you, Iron Man, a mechanic is not the same as a doctor, bro. We already know that, bro.
That's not condescending because
brother, me not care about what you think of me. That has nothing to do with this. Oh my God. Why? Okay, stop majoring in minor because I don't really care what you think one way or another. Of me, of others, of the sky, the sun. Me no business about what you think. I don't care about what you think. Me ask you a question just now. You're not answer. Oh God, man. Here we go. You see what I say about people who type a lot? When they finally call in, they make no fucking sense. A lot of them makes no sense.
Exactly. And nothing is wrong with that.
But you're not, but make some sense for me now. Okay, let's not get there. Let's not get personal like that. Cause you take it gone personal now.
Okay.
Me no business about what you feel about me or think about me, man. Bro, okay, so talk to me then. Straight. Why do you think that the police officers read the Miranda rights off of a card every time instead of just saying it to you? As a matter of fact, if a police officer says your Miranda rights the wrong way, you can get your whole case thrown out because you were not Mirandaized the proper way.
So that's why I said you were comparing apples and oranges, because
me not comparing no apples and oranges.
They don't want to make no mistake in the case.
Yes.
To be thrown out. A lawyer don't operate from that point of view, SouFLo.
So a lawyer just guess the law and say I'm a lawyer so I know it. A lawyer just guesses the law and says, "Oh, I'm a lawyer so I know it."
He's not guessing it. If you deal with it, so much time, it won't jeopardize it.
Man, where are my attorneys in here? Where are my attorneys in here? There ain't no lawyers that are playing guessing games, bro. They go to the books. So I go to the books. Thank you. But how long I've been saying that though? But how long may I say that? What is your beef with what I have to say about this case?
You make note of the camera. I'm just telling you that I have a camera outside my backyard. It doesn't record anything because I would have to pay for that feature. I refuse to pay for that feature.
You have a camera outside your backyard that does not record anything.
If I want to record it, I would have to pay for it.
Chill. What? Okay, watch this. Watch this.
Every time a
so
car or a dog pass or somebody pass outside, it picks it up, but I would have to pay for the feature to find it every time that person passes.
Okay.
I pay for the feature on my garage way.
All right, good.
The garage way after.
All right, good. So let's stick. Okay, so let's talk about that camera for a second because it applies to this case, right? So what you're referring to is there being a camera in the 13-year-old's room that only films, shows footage, but it doesn't keep the footage. Right. So you're saying that you can see that being okay. You have cameras that you set like that.
You don't set it like that. You either choose to pay for the feature or don't. If it doesn't pay for the feature, you cannot go get it. Because if you could go get it, the state would have went and get it. If you even delete it, the state can get it.
So why would you set a camera in your child's room that only views but does not record?
Yeah. I would do that.
So me can break into your backyard then. I could break into your house from the backyard, and if you're not home to see it happen, then you won't even be able to tell who broke into your house. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so for you,
that's what they are saying.
So for you, right? For you, you do that for you. But the majority of the people, including myself, I have cameras in my backyard. I have cameras at the front of my house. All my cameras record and keep footage and keep months of footage. Because if somebody gets to my house when I'm not there, I want to know that. And that's why we have security cameras. And the average person listening to this conversation, who has cameras agrees with me that that's why they have cameras.
Okay, so that's why they have cameras. Okay.
Yeah. Where you have a camera in a 13-year-old girl room to view.
There can be cameras set up in places where it only goes off. So your phone only goes off when the...
Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Donna. That's how I'm not saying. He's not going to say it. Thank you, Donna. Because you're just saying, brother, let's talk the case now. Okay, so let's talk the case. I'm not talk no problem. Let's get to the case. No, man, you're talking, but you're not answering me. You're not answering me.
Answering what?
You ask me questions, me answer them. When am I time to ask your question, you just talk.
Okay, go ahead and answer. Go ahead with my answer.
My question was, what would be the purpose for having a camera in a 13-year-old girl's room as a man when the camera does not record footage and keep it? It's only for your viewing. What would be the purpose of that?
Me personally would never put a camera in my...
See, there you go again. You talking about me personally. Me no want to hear about you personally. What would be the purpose? Where you think a person would do that for? You're a man. You're a man. You put a... I'm asking you to be present in this situation, bro.
That's not the only person in the room. Remember the man that's in the room in biological.
That's creepy. That's creepy. None of them are babies.
Okay. If you want to say it's creepy, what I am saying is it's even more creepier if you're up the recording to go back and watch.
No.
The girls are changing their clothes.
Okay, thank you. No, thank you. So you're so here. Good, you're on the right track. You're on the right track. I'm getting you there. Walk with me, right? If I put a camera it's called, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called voyeurism. So if I put a camera in the little girl's room, I'm going to make sure from the beginning that that camera doesn't collect footage. That means if I go in there and do anything in there, there's no way the law will have footage of me doing anything in there because they weren't there to see it when it was live.
But that's not true because I just told you I have a camera in my backyard that doesn't do that. So to just say that, that's just speculation all over.
Okay, it's speculation, circumstantial. We're grown people who are thinking.
Circumstantial is no speculation. Circumstantial is if you can add up something.
You are trying to argue like you're an attorney and me and you are in court. And that's not what we are doing. We're on YouTube, on SouFLoTV. So me tell you that already. Come off of that. No, brother, yeah, man. Come off of that. Come off of that. As big man, as a big rascal man, why would you put a camera in a 13-year-old stepdaughter room? And make sure say it don't hold footage. Brother, you know what I think? You want to hear? Yeah, the only reason a man would have do that, you see, he want to see when the little girl come out of the bathroom, want to see when them change them clothes, want to see her bend over, put on her panty, want to see all of them things that, and don't want no proof that he was watching that. Because if you go back to the police report, the little girl said to the police, there's a camera in my room, and you access it by an app on my mother's phone, but I think he has access to it also.
So she never said, she didn't say she's sure in my view. So that's where you're speculating.
She said, I think he has access to it also.
What if they, she think that she said she know that her mama have it on her phone.
Yeah.
So what if when the investigation was taking place, they proved that this man didn't have it on his phone at all.
That no means him never going there. Him can have access to the mother phone. Worse if him who set up the camera in the house? Whose idea was it to put a camera in a 13-year-old girl room or a space where a 13-year-old girl sleep and a camera that does not hold footage? Whose idea was that? Yeah, because if you're a pervert, you don't want it on your phone. Because the same reason you don't want it on your phone are the same reason you make sure that the camera only view but don't keep footage. Read between. Don't listen what me just say. Listen what me just say. If it's not there on him phone, are the same reason why the camera only you can view but you can't keep footage. And the same reason. This is how calculated molesters are. Where more view it from? Oh, me not gonna do my sorrel beer, but me I'll leave it. Bro, ask the question again.
What if the investigation leads to see that he couldn't view because she said she thinks she didn't know.
He couldn't view what? Him can't view the camera?
She didn't know that he
had. Julie, we don't know how true this is, but Just Smile says CMR admitted to having the app on his phone as well for the camera. But no, I just said, did you hear what I just said though? No, did you hear what I just said? You see how I started that out? Brother, you're drowning and you're grabbing for straws. I clearly said I don't know how true this is. And I involved my audience because that's what we do over here. Oh my God, man. Here you go. The caller don't believe the little girl. The caller seemed like the type who would have put a camera in a 13-year-old girl room and make sure say it don't record. So when him going there go do what him do, there's no footage of him doing it. So when the police ask him can say it doesn't hold footage.
Like, it doesn't mean that you're right by trying to paint me as something that I am not, or paint me as something that you want to paint me as. It doesn't mean you're right.
Are you calling? So you're called to argue about me and you or what? Or you're called to talk about the case? But this sound like about me and you. This sound like about me and you. I'm drawing my conclusion based on what you're saying. And me, I take it personal. The man just said, I don't care what you or how you try to paint me. It sounds like you take it personal, man. I'm telling you what are the conclusion I've drawn based on the things you have said. Y'all been waiting for it, right? I could feel it coming too. Come with it now, man. Forward with it now. So what you say? So what you say, bro? Forward and say everything what you want to say. You have SouFLo on the phone now, so forward and say everything what you've been wanting to say.
Yeah, so me ask you, but pass the one, you know, because I'm sure you there is a way that you can have a camera, because what you were doing is facing it like the footage went away. And all I was trying to...
Man, stop lying on me, man. Stop lying on me. Stop lying on me. This man said I am painting it like the footage just went away. I clearly said, why would you put a camera in a girl's room that only views but does not hold footage? Me read the police report to the bro.
While I was listening to you, you said, where did those footage go? Like it was deleted. And I am saying if they were deleted, the state has ways to get those.
But we don't have to argue that because the police report already said, and I'm going off of what Koshane said in the police report. When the police was questioning him, he said to the police that the camera only views, it does not hold footage. Now, check it, right? Now, let me show you something, right? Wait. Let me show you something, right? This is why it's important to get that video. That's why it's important to get that video. Because watch this. When the police was questioning him first, right? The man said to the police, I never went in that room. You could go view the foot. You could go look at the videos. Later on, him said it only views, it don't hold footage. So why would you tell the police, I didn't do nothing. The video camera is in there. You could go look at the videos. But you know from blood clot morning say no footage no did it for view. No red flag? No red flag? No red flag? Okay, yeah. You're willing to let every single thing slide, bro. You're willing to let everything slide. Why is there a camera in a 13-year-old room? You argue it away by saying, oh, I have one in my backyard and it doesn't work either, so people could put those up. Okay. Why you tell the police why you tell the police you never got into the room and them can go see the video, but then later in the same police report you said the camera does not hold footage, it only for viewing. Y'all gonna make that slide too? Okay. Yo. But brother, you don't have to bring that up to me. Me know that. You have chicken with fry, you have chicken with roast, you have chicken with curry. I mean, what kind of conversation we have? How I made what come off to you? They okay. Listen. In the police report, the man said to the police, I didn't go in there. You can go check the camera footage. Now, if you know already, said the camera that is in there does not gather and store footage, Where the Ross you are tell the police about go check footage for to prove that you weren't in there. So say that no man. Why it take you so long to say that? We not agree. It may I pull you by rope like one time old man a drag a big cow go down the hill, go put feed him water and grass, brother, and you nah forward. And the case be on alone. I'm only on the case. You keep saying let's get to the case. The only place we there upon the case here.
Yeah, all right. But I get back to that point with the case.
Get to it then. Yo, Jano Star. But I'm in a difficult. Me just there's just things here where me not see how as a grown person. You see me? You see if me wrong, me not have a problem saying, you know what, Jano, me wrong. Yeah. Or if I've never been the type of person to be like, those who follow me for years know this. If me ever put out nothing that never goes so, come back by the next day and say, let's correct this information. What we gave you yesterday, that was the wrong information. This is what actually happened. Blah, blah, blah. I was wrong. So me not have no problem. I say wrong is wrong and right is right, man. But why the that don't mean they always right, you know. Hey, this can go on forever, you know, because now you go on if you go say, where was I ever wrong? But me no want this to be about me, I want this to be about the case. So I could stay upon the case. Because you just said something that is very inflammatory. You said, just to give you credit, you're always credible, but that no means say you're always right. So I could be provocative right now and say, okay, so where was I ever wrong? But me not go do it. Me want to stay upon that case here. So we could stay upon the case. Oh. I'm saying the reporting is normally from current sources. You don't make up stuff about these. Oh, but brother, you know, so when I do stories, there's a part where I give my personal opinion, though, and there's a part where I go off of what was factually said, right? Right, right. You know, some of the commentary, right? So I do give my personal opinion, but I also give facts. All right, brother. So let me get back to contract. With the contract, man. With the all right, sir. With the contract, iron sharpen iron. Talk to me. Where we there now? Yeah, with the so we pass the camera. More of the people that understand that. So which one we there? With the why you think what reason you think the case would have been this? Because remember say so what we want to get to is that she never say in touch her. She basically say in getting there. That's what she said. No. No. That's not how it went. You're fuzzy with the info, bro. The police report said specifically he rubbed her over her shoulders and breast areas. And then he picked her up, removed her from the bed, and took her to the foot of the bed on the floor and laid her there. She had gone like she asleep the whole time. He laid her out on the floor and he pulled her pants down to her knees while she was laying on the floor. For some reason, he pull up back her pants and put her back in at the bed. Now explain to me where a man do that for. No, him did that, you gonna tell me say him did that change her nappy? No, that would mean that what you say is true. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that would mean that what you say is true. Oh, okay.
Obviously, you didn't investigate it. That's why you're referring to the police report in SouFLo, because me and you didn't investigate the case. They do it.
Where you are get to
So
do?
what could the mother and she come up with after she reported that for them to dismiss a case when they're charging for, because they take it to
Don't speak again. Don't speak again. You ask a question, but you don't want me answer it. You ask the question, but you keep talking after you ask the question.
Oh, sorry. Did I ask it twice? So go on again.
You ask the question. Let me ask you. Let me say your question out loud. Come here, pay attention. Your question you ask is what could have happened for them to dismiss this case, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what could have happened for them to dismiss this case? I said this from the beginning. I said the only way this guy can beat this is if that little girl is if they I even did a whole video on what is gaslighting. I used the word gaslighting. I said they're going to gaslight the shit out of that little girl. I even went as far as to say, me wouldn't be surprised if them tell the little girl, say, you were dreaming, sweetheart, and that really didn't happen. You're cloudy in your memory of what took place. All kind of something like that. If and that right there, hello, and that right there could cause that case to be dismissed. Who would I tell her that? Now you ask me to speculate when you did not tell me before enough to speculate. You see? You see? Now you're asking me to speculate when you've been telling me not to speculate. Uh-huh. Me and you don't know who to tell her that. It could have. Yeah. She big enough to be believable. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't say if they were able to coerce her and to manipulate her, a 13-year-old, then we are saying she wasn't smart enough because she's smart. No, no, no. A lot of intelligent children are coerced and manipulated by adults, and it doesn't mean that they're not smart.
Okay, so let me, like, you left on one side of the case today. So let me go on the side now and say, what if she lied? Would she be the first little girl that lied about something like that? Yes or no?
Oh my God! Of course she wouldn't be. But you're speculating again, and you're supposing. What if she lied? This case right here.
You are saying the same thing. What if she's saying the truth? What if she's true?
No, bro. Me, I said she tell the truth. No, it's not what if for me. It's not what if for me. For me, I believe her. She said exactly what happened to her.
Oh, so we can say I believe the other side then. It's not what if.
Of course you can, but say it proudly.
What you mean, I must say proud?
Here we go again. Here we go again.
It's not a Jamaican rape culture thing. This is America where they're taking something serious. That's why you want to charge right away, as a matter of fact, as soon as they get them on information, basically. And
some people have said this and that in the chat, but listen, it's important for me to talk to people because for one, you who in the chat, you're not calling. For two, sometimes when you speak to some people, it gives other people a clear view of what certain people are, a broader audience is thinking. You know what I mean? So it's important to have these conversations.
If something has two views on it and you listen to one view, you basically don't know the view because you have to listen to opposing views. Because you might convince me, and I know I won't convince you, but you might convince me.
My friend for that little girl, and that's all I'm gonna make you know. I don't think she should be. I don't think she should be. I don't think she should be in the house. Let me ask you this, right? If you thank you. Whether lying or not. If you're a man who has a child that's not yours, right? And put yourself in the situation. You moving back in that house comfortably?
No, man, I'm telling you right now. She was CMR. I don't want to have nothing to do with that.
All right then. All right then. And that could be for her safety. So me hope him reach that place there where him say, you know what, me I move on with my life, me I go live over Yasso and only stay over there. So because the little girl will have a safe place to grow in.
Because if she continues saying that thing again, even if she was lying, nobody never think a lie shall tell ever again because she keep on a thing.
Why you think? And this is the exact reason why people who are perverse in this way do their stuff in steps. It's called grooming, and they do it in steps. Let me see if me wink first. If anything will go on, okay, she never tell nobody. Let me see if me blow a kiss next. Still not touch her yet, you know? Oh, she never tell nobody. All right, let me see if me pass by and brush up on her, make it look like an accident. Oh, she never tell nobody. All right, let me see if me actually touch her now. Oh, she still never tell nobody. All right, so one night me I go in our room. Remember, I know 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. 7th step, I'm in the room. Me feel up her breast them last night and left the room. I know she saw me. She never tell nobody. All right, next time I go in there, me see if me can go in her drawers and feel up her something. Oh, she still never tell nobody. This time me I take her off her bed, lay her down on the floor. The friggin' pervert is working up to me I spread her out and fuck.
Yeah, nobody has to everything in a life. Sometimes a man come view your yard, then come view, make sure they not in a few your work. So the same thing, everything work like that. Some of them disagree with that way of the life. I saw them work. So they can see a situation like that. But now the case is investigated. I can't see how them wouldn't try to get a case of zero. Like no matter how them manipulate her and tell her nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But just think because how far
she had nothing further to say, bro. That's why. She had nothing further to say. That's why. Because if the little girl was still adamant that I'm not going back in that house because I really think he gonna rape me because he came in there, took me. If that little girl was that adamant, they would not even put her, them would have removed her from the house there, even if in case dropped against him. Them not just put her, the man there back in that house with her like that. They got the little girl to a place where she act like probably nothing happened and maybe I misunderstood and you know it's a misunderstanding within the family and there isn't enough evidence to move forward. At that one. All right, sir.
The last point is the report say in CR a singular cell.
All right. You ready for that conversation there or not? You ready for that? You're all right, sir. All right. So the whole of 1800 and how much are we gathered here today? You as a father, stepfather, you push your daughter. First of all, you're supposed to knock because a teenager is behind that door. She could have been doing anything, even a finger herself. And if she was, we did not do that when we did at them age there, discovering our own bodies and exploring. So, eh? So if you accidentally push your daughter door now and a door open, and first of all, ask yourself this, bro, because you're intelligent, right? That little girl knew there was a camera in her room because she told the police there was a camera in her room, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so why would she spread out on the rascalot floor and play with herself if she knows a camera in her room and her parents can see her? Next red flag again. Watch it a wave big. Watch you try act like you no see it. Okay. All right then. Yeah, man. Yeah. No, answer. Me want to hear your answer. Me want to hear the answer. Not talk about when me and you know. Talk about talk about when me just ask you. What the little girl told the police there's a camera in her room. It's accessible by an app on my mom's phone, and I think Kushane has the app too. Why would she go play with herself in front of a camera brawling on her floor? So talk no man. So what? What?
Not just think one side, man.
What you say?
Camera pick up everything in our room, you know. You have hidden sections.
Oh, so she did in our hidden section. The man said she brawling on the floor, sir, next to the bed on the floor. Oh, stop it, brother. Go on where you go, man. Nah. Speculation, but would lead to a red flag. Yeah.
We don't know if it's right, you know. But because you speculate, we can say if speculation correct, it's a red flag.
And a speculation. And a speculation. I'm going off the police report.
No, the police report didn't say. He could have seen her from the camera view or anything.
Oh my God. So you have a cap. So now you're gonna argue, say the camera was only viewing one little section, and she know the dark spot in her camera where the camera wasn't. Hear this guy. So if it's a hidden section, how him see her play with herself? No, he said he never went in the room. You see? Him said him never went in the room. Brother. No, cause you want me to validate your friggery, and I can't do it. No, caller. I want you to read the comment section, caller. Caller, everybody that's listening to this, caller, please leave what you think of him in this comment section right now. Please. What? Pay attention. No, we have to do this. We have to do this. We have 1,894 people watching and listening. We have to do this. Bro, me don't want to hear about that. I want to hear about. All right. You see, a lot of people can't view them. They can't look at themselves, right? I'm talking to my audience, not you. A lot of people cannot look at themselves. Even when you have 1,900 people telling them that this is what you are giving us, bro, him still can't see it. Him gonna look somewhere else, right? Look at the comment section and see what this audience is saying about you, bro. Your chain of conversation. You've been talking for a while now. Here you know. No worry about me and my wife, man. Where you talk about? Where you are talk about? Come on, where we are go? Where we are go? You pay attention to the comment section or not? Cause your time, you have 60 seconds left, bro. You've said all you can say. I've given you ample time plus some. So you can't go say me never take your call. Okay, so no, it can't happen because this is Florida and it will eventually be public information as to why the case was dismissed. Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just said? Bro, all right, brother. Yeah, manners and respect, and thank you for calling in, sir. I have a wonderful evening. Manners. We had to have that kind of conversation. We had to have that kind of conversation. Oh, me hair grow so much, me have all braids. But anyhow, I had to have that kind of conversation because I wanted the audience to see. What going on, Bill?
You know, I do what's up now?
Why not work?
Yeah, I think the Wi-Fi is turned out.
Mm.
The house Wi-Fi. You're gonna have to wait a little bit.
Wife is up on the phone and fix it. She said, boy, nice in Jamaica here, see people. Oh my God. For those of you who are not, just sideline a little bit just so wifey could fix up the phone here for me real quick. For those of you who are not, I got a lot of vlogs coming. I tell yourself if you need to treat on yourself and make sure so you come home. Because this is truly, I don't know, me there and me I tell wifey say, boy, I feel like say yes, so we belong. All she look prettier to me when she there here. I don't know if it's the way the Jamaican sun glistens off her body. I don't know why it is. You know, the food them where we are eat, them kind of something there. But I'm having a time in Jamaica right now. You know, having a time for real.
Alright, see they're connected. So I don't
Thank you,
know
babe.
WhatsApp can call me now.
All right, thank you. All right, so now I can hear the calls going through. Apparently, it was not connected. The Wi-Fi did off on the phone. All right, me just get the phone. Who's calling though? Okay, here we go. All right, live on the air with SouFLo. Good evening.
Evening, SouFLo.
Good evening, fam. How you doing?
Boy, they ain't no fun.
All right, so may I ask everybody who are calling to make sure so you're speaking up loud because we don't have with big speakers with us, so and with microphones, so the calls are not that loud, and the people them have to really listen because I'm going from phone straight to this lapel mic. So if you have it on speaker, Bluetooth, anything, all right, talk to you now.
Well, as far as me, I see, SouFLo, it's like a lot of people are really check and go in depth into this thing, so to say. Just look on everything from right truth. You look at girl that tell the truth. And for the mother not support her daughter, it says a lot.
Says a lot, brother. You know, in the says a lot.
Oh, yeah, I have a camera in our child room.
A teenage girl like that.
You can't have a camera in her. The only place you have a camera is when you have a young baby.
Thank you, sir. Balance it out for us because you seem rational, and you make the man them like make the people them know say some sensible man there.
All right, we have kids, SouFLo, and if you want the kids reach a certain age, we don't even post my kids. When them a baby, it's different. But if you want them start going reach certain age, all of them some of that stuff.
Right.
And you have to give and take with situations. You get what I say?
Yes. Because they're becoming people of their own now. You know what I mean? Yeah, them big enough now for say, I don't want to be on camera all the time, Dad, or I don't want to be in that video, or you know, them kind of thing there. So you give them respect that way there, the same way how you knock their door before you just bust in there. The same how you don't just put up a camera in their private space. And I talk about the
camera in our teenage child room. That's the first no.
That was a big red flag. Big red flag.
And everybody know camera stay. No care what, you have somewhere where the footage about it. No care where nobody wants it. You can take on the can tell you. No care where nobody wants it, you have somewhere where the footage can store.
If it's recording. If it's just viewing, it's just viewing. Can we deal with cameras too? And if it's just viewing, it's just viewing. If it's ever recording, no matter how you erase it or something, then there's somewhere out there that you can pull that back. But if it's just a record, I mean, if it's just playing and you can just straight view through, This alone, this made me suspicious, brother. First of all, the camera in her room, the age she is. Second of all, the camera wasn't set to. Okay, so if my camera was viewing, taking up footage, I could easily say to the police, say, you know, that's my teenage daughter, and she's keeping bad company, guys, and she snuck out of the house 2 nights in a row a couple of weeks ago. So I'm trying to keep a tab on her, make sure she doesn't sneak out of the house again. So I have footage. You can back my footage up and see that I did not burst into her room or I did not go in the room and take her out the bed. You know, that would be to my benefit as well as to her benefit. Also, if somebody broke into my house through her room, I could tell, or if she was sneaking in a boy, I could tell by rewinding footage and going back through. Purpose. The man don't have no purpose at all. Why a camera would be in a little girl room and the camera don't even keep footage? It's just for viewing. Thank you. All right, sir. All right. Now, what is going to be interesting, you know, is how this move forward, because at some point, it's gonna be like, okay, did she lie? Um, or was she coerced into not cooperating any further with law enforcement?
And all the mother did care about was just protecting her image. What image when it come on to your child? That makes
Sad.
sense.
Sad. Sad.
You can't think about that image when it come on to your child. You see what image or where you want to put out there for the world is when it come on to your child or your child.
Now you can imagine how that child they feel knowing that they went out on a limb to get rescued and still never get rescued.
All right.
You can imagine how she feel.
And don't tell her mother that simple mean probably should show her mother a couple things already, and the mother just don't believe her or just them wife who leave it like it's their son.
Why? Yeah.
When you're wrong, you're wrong.
Come in here for?
This horror beer.
This you drink coffee while I am?
No, we just can't open it.
Oh. So you can't come and open it for you?
Oh, the other car they thought was hidden space in the security camera. She don't have access to the camera, so how she don't know where the hidden space is?
All right.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, man. Just too much red flag with that on this from day one.
Yeah. And you know, thanks for being a man who see it that way. Because for some reason, if me find it creepy, there are so many Jamaican men who see it another way. And then there are so many Jamaican or Caribbean women who call me and tell me them story of things that are similar to this that happened to them. So with the men not seeing it that way and the women having these complaints of their own childhood, it kind of make me look on the whole picture like, Jesus Christ. So a whole heap of friggin' predators that are out there, and there are also a whole lot of, you know, those who are willing to act like them never see nothing, hear nothing, and even when it comes to a child. And maybe it's because they are that as well. Because you only resonate with what you are. Boy. Well, like I said, I'll keep that little girl here in my prayers.
This is how a lot of people not understand me. You see, man who you see love look a young girl and a woman look a certain way. You can't put nothing past some of them man there.
I agree. I agree.
You get what me I say?
I agree.
Alright. But I my workplace already SouFLo. When you know work on the floor, go up on the floor one day and someone will go work and then, oh, you know, look, I have to come back to them and say, yo, I prison don't want to go. I kick them man and I'm blind.
And them.
Big and everything, you know. But if you trust this kid they can know just looking at them face. But no man, no man again just watch the big body and stuff and yo, too much dirty man out the road, man.
Yeah, brother. It's sick.
Man, if a big woman, allow the child and then grow, man.
I guess that's something we're very important to. Anytime you see a man and look on like certain age, you know, and certain group of and certain type, just know say not put nothing too far past him. You know? For me, a child is just a child, bro. Yeah, there's nothing about a child that I would look upon a child and say, oh, she look good, you know, or I wonder how old a girl is because she look good. Me not looking over there, period. That's somebody pick me. It look like one little pick me. And me probably a pick me that age there. Any man you see will like blur the line. Don't put nothing past them. All right, my brother.
Yeah, man, you don't know. Bless up, bro.
Manners. All right. The phone line is open. Wife just fixed it. Apparently, I go out the road earlier, took off the phone off of the connected to the Wi-Fi and it was roaming around, needed to put it back. That's why the people were able to call directly and not WhatsApp. Now you can call WhatsApp. Message deleted. 52 missed calls. Jeez. So did I call in? Somebody is sending a lot of messages. 2 more missed calls, more messages. Just call if you not call, man. Hear me, I say. We're not gonna really stretch this out. As a man, I would not be going back. Let's talk about this part. Me not go back in the house there. From day one, me I say me innocent to everybody who know me. And all my videos and vlogs would have been about my innocence. And then I'm not going back in that house after I am exonerated, freed, dismissed. Me no want to go back in there. Live on the air with SouFLo.
Hi, SouFLo. How are you?
Boy, if everybody's thing could be as clear as yours. I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Happy New Year to you and your family.
Same to you.
Thank you. So I thank you so much for the conversation. Great topic tonight. And I just want to talk from 2 different angles. Mm-hmm. One being an American, and 2 being from Jamaican parentage.
Right.
We all know that in America there's a big high-profile case going on now. I'm not calling any names, mm-hmm. but think about the age of the people who are coming out and saying X, Y, and Z happened.
Right.
And people are saying, why is it that they waited all these years to say anything? But this person has prestige. This person has power. This person has money.
Mm-hmm.
And so even if you like the person, yea or nay, people gravitate to that person. So right. That person is deemed innocent until proven guilty. Now, he was innocent. The person was innocent. Now, all of a sudden, a video comes out of that person physically attacking a person. Conversations change. People start looking at this person in a different light. Because now you see more guilty than anything else, even though that person came and tried to clear their innocence. In a situation like this, what we have to realize when it comes to children, especially children in the United States of America, they don't really get the support that they need. And hence the reason why we have this whole controversy with the Roe versus Wade, where they were advocating in case a child get molested and they get pregnant, where are they going to go if they're going to have an abortion?
Right, or if they have to have their predator's baby.
American fight that we're fighting today, and we basically lost. Okay?
Right.
So in a situation like this young lady, again, there's 2 sides to their story. Listening to how things panned in the beginning when the judge said in the case, in the video that you played, because I had watched you from day one, when you were starting, talking about the situation, and the judge said this is not a dangerous case. Hence, that it doesn't seem strong enough. You understand? For there to be any type of conviction at that moment. Why? Because based on what was stated in writing, the verbal statements that's put in writing, and we all heard, is that things were done on top of her clothing. So if she's being touched on top of her clothing, there's no physical evidence to prove otherwise. Yes, she may have gone to the hospital, they may have done, testing vaginally or whatever the case may be, but if there's no traces of evidence left behind, it's basically at this point, my word against yours.
Right.
Does that mean that she's a liar? Absolutely not. It's just, as you said before, there's just no strong evidence at this point.
Right. And how do you prove? And how do you prove being felt on or touched?
Leading back to the Jamaican side, we may like a person, and the person may show or demonstrate great character, and we fall for that person and their character. So in our eyes, they can do no wrong. And we know how girl child or girl children, sometime or a picnic, they like to tell stories or whatever the case may be. We fall into that type of trap mentally, and that has been going on for years. At what point in this child's life, if the story is true, is she able to come forward to say, yes, it did happen? Because if you're not going to hear it from him, are you ever going to hear it from her? You understand? We have to be understanding to the point whereas a lot of children every single day, that's hence the reason why you have the trafficking. In American government right now, you have somebody who left Congress to go seek a job with the new incoming president, and lo and behold, because his documents come up that he did something to a minor and he paid a minor, his job is on the line. So we have to look at these things. This is not a joke. This is not something where, because I like you and because your character deems well or whatever the case may be, you could have never done that. Really. We have a lot of high-profile people right now fighting for their freedom. One major rapper, billionaire rapper, fighting for his freedom, his namesake. So we have to give an account and understand there's two sides to every story. Just because the case has been dismissed, dropped, whatever the case may be, it's not strong evidence to support what has taken place. Because as you said, a camera is there, but there's no rollback. We can't prove anything. You're touching on top of the clothes. There's a difference. I used to work for CPS, and we always ask the question, were you touched on top or underneath? And if you're touched on top, there's no trace. Nobody can trace anything. Unless there's some type of fluid or whatever that touched your clothing, it's a different story.
If you're touched underneath, there is no trace. Unless right when you were touched, you went straight to somebody and said, I just got touched right here. And even then, there might not be any trace.
True.
Right. So back to what I said pertaining to this particular case, without all the other stuff you said, not to discredit your argument or anything or your comments, but in this particular case, the reason given for a dismissal, I want people to understand that nothing has come out yet that said this little girl lied or she changed her story. What came out was the law telling us that it was dropped because they did not have enough evidence to support a prosecution.
Right.
And I asked, how do you prove that I was fondled? Because the only people, if you're fondled, if you're fondled in a back room somewhere, only you and who fondled you know, unless there was someone there who saw it, a third party.
Right.
So that person trying to clear their name can say, I never touched that person. And you're over there like, your friggin' hand was in my pants. You were feeling on me. It's your word against my word, right? So in this particular case, this is a child, and that's her damn stepdaddy. And there was never any problems before until this happened. Right. Now, the child told the same story to the school counselor and then reiterated that story again to an investigating police officer. And then all the questioning, the line of questioning of the police officers to the stepfather and his answers, there were too many red flags. I don't want to confuse my audience and start talking about celebrities who are fighting for their namesake and somebody. I don't want to confuse them with that. I'm sticking to this case in particular. Why did you have a camera in a 13-year-old girl's room? Why is the camera not recording and holding footage? This means you are not trying to secure your residence. You want that for viewing purposes only. And it can even get more creepier because you don't want evidence left behind in case you decide to go into that room and do something. Right. So all these red flags are thrown out in this young lady's story that are validated.
Absolutely.
They were all proven.
And not only that, given the fact that she said it didn't happen just one time, it happened 3 times.
And she said it happened multiple times, right? 3 times in recent times.
Right. My whole take on it, because I started watching them when the whole cheating situation took place. I really started watching them and so forth. I suspect, and this is just my opinion, I think mom is afraid of him. And anything is possible. I was watching a live recently where the little baby girl said, he's going to kill you or something of that sort. Daddy's going to kill you. So, I mean, anything is possible at this point. It could be fear-driven. It could be a lot of different factors. And I'm not saying that they coerced her into changing her story or what, in any way, but anything is possible. You understand? Because now all of a sudden when you're looking at the videos, it's like you're putting a child who made such a statement on camera.
Right.
Like, why?
Right.
Why would you not protect her innocence? And she's a child in school. At least, if you're going to show your children, don't show her. You have respect for her, where she's not seen or feel like she's obligated to be a part of the video or whatever the case may be. Because come on now, you're talking about character, you're talking about self-esteem, you're talking about a lot of things that this child could be going through.
And if we're going to talk about the system, I just want to put that out. Okay, so Nick said she saw the video and daddy's going to unalive you is what the 3-year-old said, and the mom tried to play it off. All right, I didn't see it. I don't watch them. So I have no vendetta except for trying to be an advocate for this girl. Now, speak about the U.S. justice system. There are tons of children who have slipped through the cracks. And usually, if you go look up their statistics, young black girls lead. Young black girls lead. Those who go missing and are never discovered, those who are off in the sex trade or human trafficking, those who have been molested and went to the system and still nothing was done because they lack evidence to prosecute. Those black girls lead that.
Right.
So this is not far-fetched to see that, I think the state dropped the ball really on this one. I mean, we can argue back and forth and say, okay, if you go to court, though, really and truly, you can't really show evidence that you were touched. And that is true. However, reading that entire report and his chain of questioning and answer with the police officers, too many red flags to just dismiss that.
Right. And then on top of that, just to go back a little bit, I remember the brother, I think it was his brother, that made a video, and he came out kind of explaining, saying that
I'm sorry. Hold on for a second. Sorry. Hold on for a second. No, give me a second. Okay. Burdell, the case. Burdell says the case was probably thrown out because the camera footage couldn't support her accusation. Burdell, you are misinformed. There was no camera footage. The cameras do not record. Therefore, they hold no footage. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, but go ahead and say what you were saying now.
Yeah, what I'm saying is basically with the brother, when the brother came out, and I guess he was trying to advocate on the behalf of, his brother, when he called his sister-in-law, which is the wife, and, asked her what was going on. She said, whatever you see, according to him, his statement, whatever you see on, I guess media, that's exactly what it is.
Right.
So it didn't seem, and this is coming from the brother who's making a video and putting it out publicly, based on his conversation with the sister-in-law. So at what point, if she's saying that as a mom, at what point can we justify to say, well, the child is telling an untrue truth because, the law enforcement is going to tell them exactly why they're involved. And if that's what was presented to her, that's exactly how she received it.
Listen, I'm right.
She went to school, she could tell the story.
I'm riding with this little girl. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. But I'm glad you're staying on the topic with it. And she does. We can't overlook, situations like this that happens. Like you said, it happens all the time in across the world, especially here in America. And to be him, to me, when you look at his videos and he's smiling and moving his business as usual. In a situation like this, it's really hard for you to really watch someone whose name has been called to that caliber, and
right.
You're just making videos and smiling as if
nothing happened. Won't even address it, just as if nothing happened.
Yeah,
and for the people,
listen to the statements.
For the people who are following him, I want them to hold feet to the fire, man, to her and him. Like, explain to us what happened. First of all, see, when you do the social media stuff, right, and you present your family and your friends and your family and your children on a regular basis, and this is the way you gain your fame and you earn your money, you owe that same audience an explanation when things go south and everybody is left wondering, you are dirty or you're nasty. You have to come out and say something.
Right.
So tell him to be brave and explain what happened.
Yeah, but not only that, you messed up her character by saying that you saw her touching herself. If that was your way of wiggling your way out of a situation, think about the nature in which you characterize this young lady.
Right.
That, I saw her
sprawled out on the floor playing with herself.
So what are you trying to say about her? Like, what is wrong with her? Is there something else? I know she said she likes to stay to herself. She talks to herself at times or whatever. But then the question is, why is she so isolated? Because I heard she said that in a video.
Right.
That she talks to herself at times. So why is she so isolated? Why does she feel the need to have conversations to herself? What else is going on? So there's a whole bunch of different factors that need to be, put into question. But at the same time, don't try to discredit this little girl.
Right.
All because of, this person and their credibility and their, they present well or whatever the case may be. So he can do no wrong in nobody's sight. We got to move away from that.
Absolutely. Listen, I appreciate you calling in and thanks for your insights and all that.
Thank you for accepting the call.
All right. You have a good one.
All right. Have a good night.
Well, Sabib.
So she mentioned that it's not the first time this is happening, and I think the reason why she went and told the counselor this specific time and mentioned the camera is because she thought the camera was recording. So what he did would have been on camera, and that would have been her evidence to say it's not just he said, she said, and I'm not just accusing him. She thought those cameras were actually recording footage and saving it.
That's why she told the police that there's a camera in my room.
And I think he has access to it. So she was trying to make sure that the police know and he don't possibly delete the footage, because she was of the mind frame that I know the first time this happened to me, but now it's actually probably on camera and I have credible evidence. No, I can let it go somewhere.
Yeah, she thought she had evidence.
But
she learned that camera only voyeurs into her room. It doesn't hold footage.
Yeah.
I bet she's like, damn.
Yes.
Damn. Yo. Melody Montague says, how did he take her out of the bed if she was on the floor already playing with herself? I don't know, Melanie. You know, one side is her story, one side is his story. She said she was lifted out of her bed. He says he found her on the floor already. That is him trying to defend himself. Yeah. Live on the air with SouFLo. Hello.
Hi, SouFLo. Happy New Year to you and your family.
Hey, same to you, family. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm calling in just to share a personal experience. And it's so sad just to hear some of these Jamaican men calling in and defending this man. And it just goes to show you how some of them think in terms of their mentality. They don't believe when women are saying...
No. I'm gonna stop you right there because it's not a man and woman thing. I'm shocked at the amount of women that actually support CMR and believes him and Chrissy did whatever they did is a good thing, and you will always continue to support them. And people are fighting against you guys, but who God put together, let no man put asunder. And you know you're the greatest thing. And it's a lot of women. It's a lot of women. It ain't the men. It's a lot of women. It's the women who are empowering this because it's a woman who is her mother, who, if that woman had stood with her female daughter, female like she is, this would have had a different outcome. It would have been not been a dismissal. So it's the women.
I don't necessarily know if it's mostly women. I'm talking about from your phone calls that have been coming in.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the man that called in and is defending the man. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, only one guy did that.
Two of them did it.
Okay.
But anyway, a situation happened with my niece, where she started having behavioral problems in school, and her parents started calling me and saying, "Can you come and get her and have her come live with you because she's acting up, she's not doing well?" And I started to question that and say, no, something is not right. Did you sit down and have a conversation with her and try to determine why she's behaving that way? Come to find out, she was being sexually assaulted by someone that was living in my sister's house.
Right.
When I went to visit, I took my niece out the house and we went out to eat, and I started questioning her. She told me what was going on. The first thing I did was call my sister, and my sister said to me, she didn't believe my name.
You call her mom.
My sister at that point, sorry?
You call her mother, which is your sister.
Yes.
And the mother said she didn't believe her daughter, your niece.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
How old was she? Around about.
My niece was 10 at the time.
And mommy didn't believe her.
Her mother did not believe her. She was saying that it was related to the bad behavior that she's been telling me about.
Out of curiosity, who was the person that was the perpetrator in relation to?
A friend of her friend's son. Her friend's son.
Her mother's friend's son.
Her friend's son. My sister's friend's son.
Right.
So I told my sister at that point that I was taking her to the police station. We went down to the police station. My sister and her husband met me down there. My niece, it's so funny that my niece didn't want to sit with her parents when she was talking to the police because she already felt that
they weren't going to be on her side.
They would not believe her.
Right. But they told you she didn't believe her.
That is correct.
Right. So you knew that too before they even came there, right?
I knew that, but it's sad that the child that's the way she felt. Why she never opened up to them. So when the police went and picked up this guy, questioned him, he admitted it. And they charged him. He did 10 years in prison and got deported back to Jamaica. So
now, how were they able to prove that he did something to the child? And if you don't mind me asking, what was it that he actually did?
Sexual intercourse.
So he went the whole way. Well, I could guess how they proved that.
They didn't have. He admitted it.
He admitted it.
Yep. He admitted it. They sat down. They questioned him, and he admitted it.
Wow.
But to your point, if you don't have any, he could have denied it, and if there was no evidence, it could have went the other way.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. But he admitted it. Yeah, that don't really happen. That rarely happens unless they have overwhelming proof and say, hey man, look, listen, this is you right here on camera. Then they'll be like, yeah, I don't know why I did it. I don't know if you know To Catch a Predator, like those kind of shows where they set up a sting operation and they come out, and usually it's a guy who has a wife or some professor or some lawyer or some police officer or something. They catch a lot of different people traveling across town to like meet up with some alleged 14-year-old who's supposed to be home by herself type of stuff, right? Notice when they catch these people on camera, how they go into, I was just coming to talk. You know, I was just going to talk, and then they're able to pull up the phone conversations and be like, were you really able to just talk? You said you were going to stop for condoms. Could you check his bag? Here are the condoms. So you came with condoms to just talk. A 14-year-old who's supposed to be home alone, right? Watch those shows, and it'll give you a good idea. But for him to admit it without them pulling out like DNA proof or something, that rarely happens.
Rarely.
But he was tried and convicted. Happens. He admitted it. Good.
He admitted it. And I just
so what did her mom do after he admitted it?
Yes, he absolutely did admit it.
No, what did her mom do? What did her mom do after he admitted it? And what's the relationship like between that child and her mom? The mom that didn't believe her.
Their relationship is rocky. Their relationship is rocky up to this day. And my niece, she moved out of state after that, and she ended up, deciding that she wanted to become a lesbian over the whole thing. When I talked to her about it, she said, Auntie, it's because of what happened to me. I couldn't even see myself being with a man again. Wow. She couldn't trust men.
Like Diana King. Yeah. The psychological impact,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow. And I just want to say for those people who are saying, giving someone the benefit of the doubt and so forth, statistically, it's about 7% statistically of those claims are false allegations. So over 90-something% of
it's accurate and true.
Those things, it's true.
Yes.
So they shouldn't be saying, giving somebody the benefit of the doubt. If a child says something like that to you, you should believe the child.
Right.
Point blank.
All right, friend. I appreciate you calling and sharing. There's a lot that came out of that story. And thank you for calling in, yes?
Thank you. Appreciate you taking my call.
All right. You have a good one.
You too.
Somebody said just now it's the little girl that told the police that the camera does not record. It wasn't him. Here's my thing about that. If she knows that the camera in her room does not record, it just views in, that means he knows that too. So if you watch the conversation between him and the police officers when they confronted him, he said the police officer can go check the footage in the camera. I didn't go in the room. You could go check. Why would you tell them to go check when you already know that that camera does not hold, record, and keep footage? Live on the air with SouFLo. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for taking my call. I'm calling from Toronto.
Thank you for calling in. How you doing?
Happy New Year, first of all, to you and your family.
Same to you and yours.
Watching. My thing is, what gets me really upset is the amount of people saying, "What if the child lied?" Versus a man who has the propensity to lie, who we've seen lie multiple times.
But are still willing to give the benefit of the doubt against a child, right?
Exactly. It drives me
That's deep.
nuts. It drives me absolutely nuts. We've seen this man target young girls and promise them house and car just so he could sleep with them. So, hello?
And still gets the benefit of the doubt. That's maybe the little girl lying.
And as for the mother, who everybody was saying,
you know how sorry, not to cut you off. Hold on, not to cut you off, because you're on fire. You cooking. Think about that. Somebody who has proven to be untrustworthy, lying, cheating, deceiving, still gets the benefit of the doubt over a child who's begging, like, please, I just want an adult to talk to him so we could stop.
Thank you. The intent, it never sounded like she was trying to be malicious.
Right.
From the get-go.
Right.
I feel like she was even trying to protect her mom and her siblings when she said, I don't want them to think he's a bad person. She didn't want to break up the family.
Right.
But just imagine how she felt when she realized how far it went and how serious it is and how much it could affect the family. Just imagine the guilt.
She's 13, man. She knows what the next step was going to be. She knows what the next step was going to be.
I think she was trying to go around it when she said, I just want an adult to talk to him.
Yeah, she was trying to save herself. But she knows, like, in the act of putting me on the floor, pulling my pants to my knees, she knows if I didn't speak up now, the next time, this is going to be... Yeah. And that child had to carry those bricks on her shoulders by weighing all the options. Well, if I tell, this is gonna mess up my family for sure. Mommy really loves him. You know, this is my sister, them father. This is gonna break my family apart, kind of thing. And this is because of me. Do I hold this, or do I save myself from what I know is coming? The device that you're listening on, can you turn that down, please? Caller?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, the device you're listening to us on, can you turn that down, please?
I'm not listening to anything. I'm in the medication room. There's nothing in here.
Oh, because I'm hearing a big old feedback from, I thought what I'm hearing myself back. Like, when...
Oh, I'm not sure. My background, I'm in the bedroom at work. I'm in the bedroom. There's no other sound in here but my voice.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, I'm so disappointed in how the case was, the outcome of the case, honestly.
Yeah.
But the fact is, there was no trial, so he wasn't proven innocent. Neither was he proven guilty, to be fair. But it's so easy to believe what the girl said, the details, and I don't know. So
yeah.
And for the people who were saying, okay, the mother could not speak on the issue because it was an active investigation, the investigation done, and she still hasn't said anything. And there's so much that she could have said that would not have compromised the investigation.
Exactly. And I said this weeks ago.
Silent. What kind of mother remains silent when everybody is saying to you, you knew it was happening, and you never came out and defended your name? as an influencer, as a businesswoman. Come on.
And
Come
even
on,
now, even now.
Yeah, now that the case is over,
right?
And he's a free man, why are you still quiet? Why are you still not saying nothing?
I think I have an idea. I think I have an idea, but let's wait and see. Because guilt and shame would make you, and everybody trying to save face right now because it came out. Regardless of what the outcome was, as in dismissed, it's out there now. And this cannot be erased.
You can't rub it out.
Right. Them can't rub this out. All right, caller. Big up yourself.
Thank you so much for taking my call. Bless up.
I appreciate you. Bless up yourself.
Bye-bye.
Live on the air with SouFLo. Good evening.
Jamaica. Blessings to all of the people and good up on the lives.
Manners family, what going on?
I hear my thing now. 19 to 2,000 people there on the live. And what the advocate who come on like a while, want everybody who up on the live. I like up the live and either say yes, you support. Me don't want to call the man name because cancel them the letter there.
See.
You get me? You see the set it good culture where Jamaica have when them free grade go on, them things that will stop because a whole heap of people out there, girls and boys. You see me? Me's a stepfather and me, my stepdaughter big enough. And I know when she have feel up hand, when me and her walk, then you know they have feel up the hand and me now do them the something so stay away. You with me? So I want the man who come as an advocate to understand, say, we as other men don't support him. We don't support them thing there.
The man, we'll come earlier talk. The
advocate, the such man, want to say, all of Jamaica, all the other man they were a good stepfather and we don't support them thing there. But we have a thing in Jamaica we say, time is the master. And we're going to wait out the 8 years. We're going to cancel him. And we're going to wait out the 8 years till that little girl get big. Because she get railroaded. You see me?
5 more for her, brother.
And she had intentions, good intentions in such a way where she said she just wanted to stop.
Yeah, just want an adult to talk to him.
Who else don't want to believe her? But time of the master.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Time of the master. And we want all of the people who are in the life now say yes if them support the advocate there, and no if them don't support it. And then we have to cancel them letter there. Because we don't want to keep them letter there. Blessings, my brother.
Manners and respect, King.
Yes, General.
Yeah, listen, it made me feel good for no men. And I know that there are men out there who are not into, like, listen, me know more man where a good man run them family and to pick me on them something than I could say I know of those who are like predatory. So there are good men out there. But social media give a voice to everybody, you know what I'm saying? And those who support the foolishness and the friggery, for them voice get to be amplified on media loud. And then it make the predator them seem like say them have a backing and they are actually good. Live on the air with SouFLo. Hi family, how you doing?
Where did child protection coming in this case? I didn't hear anything about that. Because they usually do the investigation.
Right, and this is how it happened, right? The situation, according to the police report, the situation happened at their home. The child left for school the morning after, and the child went to the guidance counselor at school.
Who's a mandated reporter, so they're supposed to do that?
Right, and that is how the police came in. And then the children were removed until, but they didn't tell us where I think they said they were with relatives, but they were removed from the home, pending. And then I was notified by people who watched them saying the kids are back in the home. They gave her back the children. They're back home, but he's not. And then he wasn't allowed to be at the home. And then now that the case is dismissed against him, I don't know because I'm out here traveling, and I don't really watch them. But no one has told me yet. People are now saying that I think he's back in the home again. So my question is, my concerns for a child who was brave enough to stir the ant nest that much is now back in the same home with the individual who she pointed out, and what could happen next.
So it sounds like CPS definitely got involved because that they would be the ones that would remove the child and all of that stuff. But I will say as a social worker that CPS is not always right. And I want to make this statement. Not all CPS workers are social workers. And in order for you to call yourself a social worker, particularly in the state of Florida, you have to have your clinical license, which means you do your master's degree, you do about 2,000 hours of supervision, take an exam. Once you pass it, you get your licensure. That license allows you to diagnose, bill Medicaid, and do investigation, anything along the lines of social worker. Most CPS agencies have people who have studied social work, psychology. They don't have their license. So what you find is when you can't pass your license, you go look at job at CPS. So we get blamed as social worker because a lot of people say, colloquially, the social worker come to visit me, or the social worker is investigating the case. Most of the people who work at CPS are not social workers. Again, to be a social worker, you have to pass your license, not just have a degree. CPS hires people who also have other degrees, like psychology, but they're not licensed. Typically, if you're licensed, you want to go work at a hospital or do private practice. So I'm going to say that CPS workers did their investigation, and based on their investigation, this is why we end up where we end up. And we know that they drop the ball sometimes. They do. CPS workers drop the ball. I mean, I lived in Canada, I lived in the US, Children's Aid Society, I live in Toronto. They drop the ball. I live in the US.
All the time.
They drop the ball.
All the time.
What will happen, though, is that their name will never come out the system. That is one. So whether they won or got dismissed, their name is never out the system. That is one. Second of all, the child is going to start to exhibit some behavior, because when you're molested, she's going to exhibit some behaviors following this. And if this is a parent who really care, or parents who really care, the next thing they would do is make sure this child is in ongoing therapy for the next, till she turns 18 at least.
Right. She
needs to get in therapy. And if you don't have nothing to hide, you will let your child go to a therapist. And if it happened to her and he got off and they're lying, it's going to come out in therapy. So if this child's going to have some serious problem. Can you imagine going back into the place where you're violated? And I understand the Jamaican culture, because I've had these clients that come to me who they're older now. I had one client come to me and she said, this happened to me, but I couldn't tell my mother because we never lived nowhere. I know my mother found a man with a place, and I didn't want to break that up. I didn't want to not be homeless. So imagine what this child is will go through, the dismissal, are you mash up a family, are you trying? She's going to have a lot on her plate. And her mother is not immune. There are tons of Jamaican mothers like her who never been married before, and them finally named Mrs. So-and-so. They were a single mother, and now them named Mrs. So-and-so. And you're not going to mash up my life. There are tons of kids who come here and join their mothers, and their stepfather is doing the same thing to them in this country. And the mother said, oh, you're not mash up my life. Get out. So I'm not surprised that this has happened, but I just want to say, I feel it for this child. I pray to God she find a school social worker at the school who she can talk to, because her life is literally going to be hell. And I can say for me, I was a person who was molested. I never tell anybody until I was 40 years old, and it was my neighbor who did it to me. I have a doctorate today, and every time I go to my grandmother's house, the man who was the yard man filmed me down. He never raped me, but every time he filmed, and I never told, because one time I saw my mother. My sister got her dress caught at church, and she go and tell my mother. My mother take a knife and go open at the man's face. And at 14 years old, I determined that if I tell my mother, my mother will kill him, first of all. I'm going to live with my grandmother who don't like me. And I rationalize that thing and I never tell. And maybe that's why it led me to the work of social work today. But so there are lots of people who are suffering in silence who will not test. The last point I would say is when you look at kids who have been trafficked, the research says the majority of the kids who have been trafficked went through the child protection system. The child protection system in the US provides the kids on the street. You see, if you go to Houston and look at the street, 14, 15, they all went through the child protection system. We failed this child. We failed her. We have a culture that don't care about children. We have a culture, it's mine. We don't understand that it takes a village. And where can this child go now? Because everybody's gonna blame her. Her mother gets to come on foreign. She lives on social media. She's showing her life has improved, and now you cause this to happen to us. And see, you get off. But I know there was a visit to Jamaica, and I know something can happen down in Jamaica when certain people go to certain people. So them get off. But then, when you say, I start the can and say, God on time. God on time. All right, SouFLo, take it easy.
Manners and respect, family.
Yes, boss.
Boy, she said she always say a mouthful though, because that's in her line of professional expertise. You know what I'm saying? Let's take another call real quick. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good evening.
Good night, SouFLo. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am blessed. I hope you and your family doing amazing this coming year, and you're.
Oh, caller, your call dropped. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good evening.
Hi, SouFLo. I'm calling from the UK. Hi. Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Just to add something else that's additionally weird is Chrissy's brother-in-law is up from Jamaica and he's visiting the house. He seems like a nice guy,
right?
You know, he's in the kitchen cooking with the Carters. And what was strange is, you know, things are still raw, really. And he was allowed to go upstairs to the younger girl's bedroom Christmas morning or whichever. How are you enjoying your Christmas? Are you happy? This kind of thing. They've got this cheesy grinning, and then suddenly he meets with Janae in the corridor, the passage upstairs, and she's just all cheesy grin, happy Christmas, this kind of thing. And it's just so bizarre. The thing is, the situation is still raw. And it's like plastering over, like it's not, everything's normal. It's just very strange, you know.
Made it go away. Or so they think.
And she's a beautiful child. She carries a light, and she's very intelligent and intellectual.
Right.
She knows. She's not lying.
Right.
Something is really off. And listen, there is the Almighty who sees and knows all things, and this is just something which will take a turn on that household. Everything will run its course as it should. She's carrying a lot of weight, is that little girl.
Right.
Because she doesn't want to break up the household. It's ever so sad. But, you know, something within me knows if Chrissy doesn't, you know, she's prioritizing the material things. You know, over the years I've watched them and I thought they were a beautiful family. You used to admire how CMR looked out for that little girl, because he used to show more affection towards her from years back when I started watching More Than the Mother. And I always used to say, come on, Chrissy, let's hook up Janae. Because Janae, she's just
out there.
But Chrissy struggled with that. It's a hardness. And I believe that there's some trauma with Chrissy herself. Which, you know, she struggled. She won. There's some blockage there for real. Very productive black woman, proud of her, but still, this does not account for the fact that something stinks. And she could say a lot more. Obviously, I don't know, the whole thing stinks. Something is really, really, really off. And I just pray that justice will come through. I have a feeling it will, in time.
In time.
But yes, I just wanted to just say that much.
God, man. All right. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you.
Okay, you take care now.
You too now. She's not the first person to actually say that. I'm away and I haven't seen it, but somebody mentioned that same thing she just said to me, and I still haven't watched it. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good evening.
Hi, SouFLo. Good morning. All the best to you and your family for the new year.
Same to you and yours, family. How you doing?
Not too bad. I have some factor as well. The way how the case turned out. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, me neither. But I was prepared for it because I spoke about it long before. You know, I already told my audience like this can go either way. And I have a feeling, go back and look at my video. I said, I have a feeling that they're going to get, my exact words were, pardon my language, I think they're going to gaslight the shit out of that little girl. She's probably going to wake up one day thinking, maybe I dreamt that and it didn't really happen. Go look at my video. That's exactly what I said from way back then. So
I remember you said
I was kind of preparing for.
When I was growing up, they have this saying, it's not an insult, but when they say you have good mouth, I don't know if you know what it means.
Yes.
I think that's you.
Boy, I've been told that before. I've been told that before a lot of times. I don't know. But I feel so bad for this little girl though.
Yeah, I feel bad for her, but the thing is, SouFLo, I don't want to repeat what everyone else is saying, but the thing is, this little girl went to school. I think the authorities should look at that. And the fact that she said, she just wanting to stop. Is that something to look into?
She just wants an adult to talk to him, tell him to stop. Yeah. She was basically crying out for help, She was basically saying, listen, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I don't want any problems. And I think he's a good person. It's just that, this way he's doing it is inappropriate. And I just want like another adult to tell him like, stop it kind of thing. She was basically begging. And at the same time, when the victim has to be the person who kind of remind me of like a man that beat a woman and then the woman is apologizing to the man for the beating she got from him.
Yeah.
He's crying. Yeah. You see what you made me do to you? And she's now over there hugging him.
Yeah. I don't know if Chrissy's mom have anything to do with this. I want to say having to do. I don't know if the mom give Chrissy ideas how to go about it. Because if you notice, remember the same time when the same issue when he cheated on her with those teenagers, when that came out, the mom was there. She always come when things, happening.
Yeah, I can't. If I ever tell you that I've watched a complete video of theirs or anything, I have never watched them, ever watched them until this. And even with this, I've only watched 2 videos because somebody sent it and said, yo, he's out of school. He has the kids around him. And they sent me the clip and I was like, okay, so their case must be over. This is before I left, went away. And I looked at it and then I sent to the person and I said, don't you notice that the oldest daughter is not there? This was for his graduation. So I don't watch their content like that. So I can't keep up with people saying stuff like, yeah, one time I seen him put the video on her butt and I was wondering like what, that was weird. Another person is saying we heard voices in the house and I don't know if it's him. Somebody else says not him, is the brother-in-law visiting from Jamaica. I don't know the fine details of that. I go off a police report, what the little girl said happened, and that's where I take it from. So with all the other stuff, yeah, I don't really watch their content.
He went to Jamaica, and when he came back, because I don't really go into watching. Sometimes it just come up on the feed. And he went to Jamaica, he came back, he did a live, and he's talking about, he was gloating, gloating like he's rubbing it in. Oh, the loving Jamaica, and how we know people love him and blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying to myself, for somebody who loves the attention.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't video that?
People bigging him up and
nothing. He went to the day of the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
He went to a house and nobody was he wasn't getting any attention. The attention was not there, I'm telling you. So I don't think he get the attention that he come up here and talking about. He didn't get that. He did not get that.
I didn't even know all that. But you know, perception is reality. And you keep up the facade long enough and you tell a lie long enough and have people repeat it enough, it starts to sound like it's the truth. So they're working their angles. They're working their angles. I said it from the beginning though, because I just know a parent that is about their child, and I was trying to give the moms a leeway and the most benefit of the doubt. I'm like, she is gonna step in and stand up for her child, you know. But after I seen that she wasn't saying anything for so long, I was like, they're working together. Like people would splice their videos and send it to me, you know. One video they sent to me was a food that people are doing their own investigation. So I think this was around Thanksgiving. I don't remember, but it's some time of the year when we cook, and they were like, SouFLo, the same food. You see the serving plates? Now watch his video. Look at this part. She cook food and bring it to him. So there, and I also told everybody that him putting up videos all along where they were older videos, yes, and sometimes we do that, save footage for later, but considering what was happening, watching him put these videos up, which was misleading a lot of people, like, they're good. There's nothing wrong. They're still together. That's them right there in the video together, because people don't know the timing of the video. It was people like my wife who would be like, that's an old video because she had her hair like that back in whatever time or wherever. But I wouldn't know all that. So even I was looking at it like, well, maybe things are blown over for them because they're in a video together looking like it's all hunky dory around the house until somebody says that's old videos he's putting up. Then I said, why would she allow him to continue to paint a picture to the public that it's all good at home unless that's exactly what they're working on, for it to be all good at home in the public's eye? They're going to gaslight the shit out of this little girl, pardon my language, and she's probably going to wake up saying, maybe I just imagined that, or maybe I thought it was a dream or something. And this is going to go away, and that's the only way he could beat this case. And I said it, and here it is. Yep.
You know what, SouFLo? I have all boys. I have 4 boys, and I have no girls. But let me tell you something. If you have your daughter in your house, the first thing Chrissy should be thinking about is supporting her daughter, thinking her daughter's mental. I remember when I was younger, I used to see some people, oh, where is Sasha? Oh, she gone with town over Marsden. What calling for me?
Right.
You know what? You never know, sir, that the mother already know how the uncle is. She don't want that to go over there. You understand what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes you wonder where is the daughter? Is father foreign? They don't want to go foreign. They come from Manchester, but they send them down all the way to Portland because she get pregnant for her uncle. Nobody not gonna blame the uncle because the uncle are gonna buy them the good food and support them. It's time for these things to stop.
To stop.
And if Chrissy mother grew up in something like that, she will encourage Chrissy to silence the little girl.
And you know, these things are not going to stop. These things are not going to stop because there are too many mothers who are willing to say, I don't believe my child and I want my man. So it's not going to stop. You hear what I just said?
You know what? Me don't know how some woman want a man to validate them. Why you need a man to your self-worth or no self? The same man, first of all, let me see him with teenagers, a kiss up in a car that down. Because she feels just like teenagers sometimes. So you don't watch them, but sometimes she just like a teenager herself, just to look good for him. And you want to tell me she's getting old. He's going after your daughter. Look at last year when you go through with this man. And this man have a sickness. It's a pattern for him. What's next? You're going to wait till he penetrate. I don't mean to say that, you know, I know YouTube rule. But you're going to wait until him, you know what I mean?
Go all the way.
You start taking action? Come on.
Well,
Come
you know,
on.
the right place.
Before you start taking action. No. This is your daughter. You have to protect your child.
I'm going to say this.
And I noticed them since this happened, after their old videos, it's pure clickbait. They want people to think that they're going to talk about what's going on.
But it's working. It's working, though. But it's working. It's working. And as long as it's working, they'll continue to do it. So we are at the top of the hour. It's been a 3-hour live. And I really wanted to dive into this today. And I thank this audience for allowing me to dive into this today. I will leave us here today. Thank you, caller. So I can close this video out. I appreciate you greatly. Yes? Okay. So for those of us who didn't get to call in, it's too late. We're going to end the live right here. We've been on for 3 hours on this. I'm going to leave you with this. A lot of people talk a lot. They don't do nothing else. They talk a lot. But there are things that you can do. You see, when you know, say over here, I'm so disappointed in Chrissy and Chrissy don't fit. Go over there, go say it. To her and say it. To him and say it. Shut down his comment section with thousands of comments against that. Shut down hers with that. That's the only way you can be effective, right? You saying it over here, it turns into like a gossip, like we there, I chat about somebody behind them back kind of thing. If you really want it to have effect, it's like when I see a video. We have a WhatsApp chat room, right? And I tell people, say, post anything in there because this is how we get a lot of the stories and we have proof. Some of them too gruesome to show on social media, on YouTube. YouTube have their rules and stuff, but the members of the chat can see, say, that go on. But please don't post no child pornography in there, right? And if that ever comes across, I want you to do 2 things. 1, tag a law enforcement agent with it right away. 2, erase it off your device completely. That way, the police now grab you up and say, let me see inside of your phone. And they look in your phone and they're like, oh, you're harboring child pornography. You can't really say, oh, no, I saw it on WhatsApp and I just kept it. What are you keeping it for? Right? Same thing. Talking over here is good. We have to get the word out. Build some motivation for some of you, because some of them are back weak, you know. And some of them are intimidated easy. And some of them are afraid to talk to people and to worship people who want to see through these mediums or whatnot. Me are the same person when you see me out the road as you see me right here on camera in front of you. Go over there and let them know how you really feel about this. You see that little girl? In closing this video, I'll say this. The person who said, want to so worry about her for she know no? She don't know no. Go worry about your own life. We don't have to know people's children to want a safe space for those children. Me would I want somebody to want safety for my children. So I want safety for other people's children too. And we're big on karma, right? Right. So that's what we're working with. It's 2025, man. New year. Thank God say you make it through the new, you make it here to see 2025. Enough people didn't. Turn up and do something. Be something for somebody. Somebody needs you. Whether it's that little girl or some others that you might know of, or a little boy somewhere. But be that. Grown-ass adults, you are the children's advocates, or you should be, at least. And there is no straddling the fence on this. This isn't one of those things where you get to say, me no know, me just over here so go and look and watch. And no, we draw this line, we draw the line in the sand on this. We're on this side here. And if you're not rolling with that, then you over there with them. And it's that plain and simple. All right? We're going to left it right there, so. Manners and respect to each and every one of you tuning in. Like I said, if you really want to be an advocate, go blow up their spaces and let them know. I feel sorry for your little girl. Could you imagine being back in the house after you stir up the ants nest like she did with the person who you point out the finger to law enforcement? You know, in that little girl's mind, she feel powerless right now because our police get involved and couldn't do nothing. I'm out. Peace.